What is up, everyone? It's Luke McGuire here. Hope you can hear me okay. Let me move this over here for you guys. What is up? Let me know if you can hear me okay, see me okay. I am really excited for today's training. What's up, Georgia? Colin, Shane, Thomas, Rex, Patrick. Good to see you guys today, tonight, wherever you are. You know, I swear this only ever happens when I go to do webinars, is that I get everything prepared on one computer, and then so like people don't believe me about this either, but I've got this my iMac I use is one that I bought probably back in 2013, so it's probably 10 years old now, and it was one of the first things I invested in um, when I had enough money to take my internet marketing seriously. Now, and it's just been an absolute beast. It just doesn't break. But the stupidest thing in the world, and let me know in the box if any of you face this issue to have an iMac, an old one, an older one, is this ridiculous charging system that if your mouse dies, you've got to plug this bad boy in, the bottom of it, and you just can't use it, right? So that's literally what happened when I went to go start today's training. And I don't know why I didn't see a mouse notification earlier telling me that it's dead, but that's how it started today. And but you know what? We find solutions, we fix things, and I had to run down to my car because I've got the new iPhone now, and which is USB-C. So I was happy to get rid of every dodgy lightning cable that lightning cable, Thunderbolt cable, whatever it is, the cable that you would use to charge iPhones normally, or most devices that are Apple. But I completely forgot that my keyboard and my Apple mouse still use that old school cable. Not old school, but it will be old school soon, I presume. So um, that's how it started. But today I am so excited for you all to be here. The first thing I want to do is ask you guys, has everyone picked up their trial of High Level for 30 days through my link? Again, it's going to be important to do so because we're going to be jumping into some live trainings today. But if you haven't, you just need to go to go highlevel.com/Luke. I'll put it here as well. This will give you that 30-day trial. Now, you guys should have got your bonuses. If you haven't, let me know. But in the last email I sent out, I had a link in that email for it. You should have also got an email when you signed up for the trial. If you haven't signed up for the trial yet, just go and do it right now, really quickly. It takes 2 seconds. I'll put the link in the chat box, and then I'll get you guys added into those bonuses, because this is the last time before our live trainings that you'll be able to go and get that. Okay, Deepan, if you have a look on the doc, they should all be there, but I can figure out anything else you guys need. Tim, let me have a look at that one for you shortly. So today's training, we are going to be going over, as you probably seen and got teased on a little bit last week, was some Tik Tok training and how that all connects with High Level, and how we can essentially go from taking the unlimited licenses you can generate, basically picking a niche, creating those TikTok ads, and having it start to be just one core system that you can get you making money as fast as possible. Now, I also mentioned to go through some of the bonus courses that I sent through. If you've done that right, yes. If you haven't, right, no. Don't worry, you're not in trouble. I am not a teacher or a principal, but funnily enough, the people that live next to me, they're both ex-principals. So obviously no parties for me in my apartment here, but cool. Some people said yes, some people have said no, and that's all right, because again, while those trainings are good to get you working with and inside of High Level, essentially we want to be taking you through our trainings, and like I said, I've got a mini course, and I'm going to be giving you guys probably this week, going through just some of the basic things that some people can get stuck on when getting set up. Again, there's a small learning curve and to using High Level if you've never used it before. like anything, you know, I even found when I moved from Aweber to GetResponse, there was a learning curve with that, and I didn't like it, but then I loved it. Now moving from GetResponse over to high level, there's been a little learning curve, but I just want sure you guys want to uh, get everything going with the most minimal amount of effort and stress and any roadblocks needed, because it's one of those things. But once you set up once, you're good to go. Once you've done everything once, it becomes second nature to you. And that's what we aim to do on these trainings here. So in saying that, Colin says high level are pushing their missed call program as the first place to start. So I know high level have probably reached out to all of you as well to try to get you guys set up. Any questions you guys have, you know, it's worth just taking advantage of this stuff. There's nothing to lose, right? They want to help you just as much as we do. So you may as well just get involved as much as you can. But again, focus on our trainings that we're going to be doing here. So if you guys remember last week, we went over Mike teased some of the TikTok training that he mentioned on last week's training. We were going to go into it live, but last week's webinar, I think it ended up going for 2 or 3 hours. So we wanted to ensure it didn't go for as long as 3 Harry Potter movies. Although, I don't know, I could watch 3 Harry Potter movies back to back, but I don't think I have the acting skills of Daniel Radcliffe, but I think Mike probably does have those acting skills. So who knows? Maybe we'll do that one other time. But Mike, if you're there, you can jump on, say hello, and can everyone give Mike a big welcome in the chat box? And what I'll be doing as well as on this webinar is I'll just turn my webcam on and off when I want to mention things. Mike is just the absolute goat at this, and I'm really, really thankful that he's coming on each week with us to do these trainings. One other thing I was going to mention as well, I'm thinking each week I might even do a second training if that's something you guys would like. Again, I know sometimes it's hard to commit to live trainings, and when you might just want to have an evening off, or you might want to watch something at a different time. So I will try to get the replays out, but if that'll be of value to you, I am happy to do that. So Tim, and I'll drop the bonus link a bit later on in this training. Again, in a minute I'll do it for you guys, but the bonuses for signing up to high level, you would in the past 2 emails I've sent out there and there. So yeah, and last week's and tonight's training will be recorded as well. So Mike, if you're there, my friend, let me know.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? Can y'all hear me okay?
We can hear you. I'm sure everyone else can hear you as well. Welcome, Goat Mike. Yes, he is the Goat.
What's shaking, everybody? Let's see here. Can you see my video okay?
Yeah, I sure can. And you know what? Maybe if we get enough people in 1 week, we can just, because you are the goat, we can just get you to shave all the beard off besides just a little dirty goatee, and just leave the little lip tickler there, and see how we go. That's what that can be a goal that we can have, guys, with Mike, to see if they'll do it. Probably won't do it, but you know, it's always worth a try. You never know unless you try in life, right?
That's hilarious. I actually can't see the video on here.
I need to share. I need to make you presenter. Is that what you mean?
I just can't see my video or your video.
But
it could just be, you know, one of those technology things.
Yeah, it could be one of those popping in and out of a GoToWebinar thing. GoToWebinar sometimes has a mind of its own. So your webcam just turned off.
Back on. Well, if y'all can see me, I have no idea what I look like. Hopefully I'm presentable.
Looking good. I'll make you the presenter as well if you want, so you can take the screen. Cool. But again, if anyone's here, you haven't got your link yet, I've chucked the link in the chat box. Just go do it now quickly. Get on, because it's this is the last chance before our live training, which is starting now, that you can be a part of this this before the live training starts. So jump in now.
Awesome.
I'll make you the presenter.
Let's see.
Sometimes you'll find as well with the with this. Are you on an iMac or are you on a laptop?
I'm on a laptop.
Yeah. Sometimes you'll find that you need to move back different different panels to see your actual screen. But can you see the screen that you're sharing now?
Yeah, I can see the screen.
Yeah, cool.
I just don't see my ugly mug on here, but that's okay.
Well, what I'll do then is if since you can't see me, if I turn my webcam on and off, if I want to say something, I'll just rudely interrupt you at a point that I think's suitable.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, no, we're good now. We're good. We're back in it. We got it open. We figured it out.
See, you got to keep trying.
Try again. Well, what's up,
Mhm.
everybody? Super excited to be here. It's nice to see Luke's face now. I was like, are
Mm,
we just talking to a screen?
yeah.
Um, but anyway, this is going to be a really cool training. We're going to be diving into a software called High Level. Obviously, a lot of you guys have probably heard about it. Some of you might be new. But in all honesty, they've just really taken off over the last few years. I was probably one of the original 100 users, and now I'm the super affiliate manager. So I get the pleasure of working with people like Luke and bringing this product to you guys and really helping you to succeed. I've actually used it from an agency perspective and been pretty successful with it. Now, my success, I've gotten up into the 6 figures a month, 7 figures a year range, and I'll kind of show you and walk you through exactly how I've been able to do that with my own agency, which is called Apex Agency. And then I'll show you how other people have even scaled it up further. I mean, I actually brought on a personal referral of mine who's now basically reselling High Level, doing upwards of $20-25 million a year. A guy named Joe Brown with a company called Deer Doc. So there's just a lot of possibilities with this software. I'm going to kind of walk you through what it does, but the gist of it is that it's really this kind of first Swiss Army knife tool that's kind of come out. And so the cool thing about High Level for me is that I was doing the same things I do now before High Level even came out. So I was basically using Zapier a lot. So I was basically taking lead ads in agency. Most, people that are running ads these days, are really leveraging lead ads because companies like TikTok and Facebook are kind of rewarding you with lead ads because you're not having to leave the platform, right? And so in the world of agency, which is what we're going to talk about today, whether you're working with doctors or lawyers or any other kind of industry out there, one of the biggest things that you can offer them is the ability to bring in high quality leads and then to nurture those leads. And so we're going to dive into, I want to get into some tactical stuff today and kind of show you kind of behind the scenes on how I was able to grow my business and how you guys can grow your own business. But we can jump into real quick a PowerPoint that's just going to kind of give you a little bit of an overview of High Level. If you guys were on last call, you've probably seen it, so I'll go through it a little bit quicker. And then from there, I'm going to jump into some TikTok training and show you guys how we can actually plug in and bring in ads for local businesses.
Yeah, for sure. And one quick thing I wanted to mention there as well is that this is going to be showing you like literally the biggest no-brainer way that will get people converting into actual sales that are monthly recurring for you to create your own business with using High Level and the leads from TikTok. But what I know some of you are probably like, oh, I've never done agency stuff before. I don't even know how to create a brand or anything like that. While there's some training inside of High Level, I've given you guys as my bonus, my local social academy bonus, where we go over absolutely everything from the very basics of how to choose a brand name, how to find a domain, some of the stuff that's like 4 or 5 minute videos, 4 to 5 minute videos, but a lot of people would probably know. So in saying that though, if there's those that are just completely nervous, that have never done that before, I'm happy to even do some even like super beginner webinars as well. But you've got those trainings there inside of your local social academy, which is again my high ticket course, teaching everything from the very, very basics of branding and whatnot. And as I mentioned last week, when I was sharing that as a bonus, you'll see a lot of the different services that I was saying. These are services you can offer to local businesses. There were things from like 5-star reviews, funnel building, autoresponder campaigns, text message campaigns, and I was using all of these different tools, which is just insane that High Level actually is the all-in-one tool that you don't need to go and buy these 20 different tools. So But yeah, again, I think I want to make sure that everyone here has got your trial link. I know most of you, 99% of you guys said here that you have that are on this live call. If you are watching this on the replay, I'll give you a little bit of time just to on this day that you whenever you watch in the next few days to get it then. But then I'm going to be removing those bonuses on top, so make sure to claim it right away. And yeah, Mike, I hand back over to you.
Awesome. Yeah, and to kind of piggyback on what Luke said, like my whole motto with all of this stuff is, make it push the purple dinosaur easy. There's an old saying that if you can't break something down into simplicity, then you probably don't have mastery of that subject. And so my whole goal, kind of walking you guys through this for the next 4 weeks, because we're not selling anything on this webinar, right? So we're just giving you, Luke is probably one of less than 5 people on the planet that have a 30-day free trial link. So High Level normally offers a 14-day free trial, and we were able to give him a 30-day free trial, which pretty much nobody on planet Earth has that. And so that's all we're offering right here, is basically a chance for you to jump in and get an extended trial. And then for doing that and basically, jumping on and trying it out with us for 30 days, we're going to be including a lot of live webinars to kind of walk you through step by step how you can be successful with this, as well as I know Luke has included a lot of his courses as well.
Yeah, for sure. And in those 30 days, it's really important not just to watch these trainings and do nothing with it. We want you to implement it. We want you to start building those pages. We want you to start using it and actually get results, right? Because that's at the end of the day. Mark and I were talking about this other week, how so many products are out there that it's all about the vendor making money, and then especially in the low ticket field, I find this all the time in JVZoo field, is that people will just launch products, $47, we buy them, we feel good, and then a week or two later, we've lost that dopamine, we've lost the engagement around that product, and we're on to the next thing to just to feel good. I want to cut that dopamine, that fast, false dopamine. You may as well be scrolling on TikTok if you're just buying stuff and not implementing anything. I haven't caught myself doing this. I've said this before, when I used to watch a lot of motivational YouTube videos and morning routines and all of these different things, and I was watching them and I wasn't implementing any of it, but I thought I was doing something productive, right? So I want you guys to be not only on this webinar because it feels good to be doing something for yourself, your business, learning, but actually implementing it as well, because that's the stage where I find that we can give you everything under the sun, but if you don't implement it, but I know most of you guys will, but for those that have that thought, okay, I actually need to implement this, just do it. You've got all the support in the world on this. So I'm excited for you guys to actually implement it and get those results. And again, with the way this is set up, it's the risk to reward. There's literally no risk if you can implement this and get some results right away. And I'm excited for you guys to do that with us. So yeah, Mike, I'll let you take over.
Yeah, and so, and just so for you guys to know, like, I'm a practitioner in this, in that I've built an actual agency on High Level. So to give you a little bit of background on me, because some of you might not know some of the things I've done lately, or a little bit about me. I've been, heavy into High Level for the last, let's say, going on three years, maybe more. And I've used it for a multitude of things. So I've done it in agencies where we've worked with regenerative medicine doctors, and I put hundreds of regenerative medicine doctors kind of as a niche. We've used this to raise money for Ty Lopez and Alex Maris Fund to the tune of over $100 million. And so this tool is going to be really easily for you to use across a lot of different areas. And so I'm going to show you kind of 2 things about it. One is going to be High Level to save money, because essentially we all have way too many logins. And if you have pretty much every tool you need in marketing, you're going to be spending $4,000 plus a month to have that. And so High Level gives you a very easy and effective way that you can basically cut that down to, pennies on the dollar. And you don't have to mess with having more than 1 login anymore. You don't have to have 5 or 10 or 15 logins. So we're going to go over that. And then I'm going to show you actually how I've taken High Level and used it in these different fields, and how you, as if you're a beginner or intermediate or even more advanced, this tool, is really kind of be a lifesaver for you because of what it does.
Yeah, and the final thing I want to say, I saw someone in the comments said High Level have been sending me messages saying that we've only got a 14-day trial. Look, If anyone else has that, if you've got it through my link, it will be 30 days. I know this actually happened to me when I had my when I registered, and it's just because, again, this is essentially custom done. There's only a handful of people set up. They know about that issue, and I'll double back with the team today to make sure that those messages get removed. If anyone gets a message saying, oh, you're halfway through your trial, or it's only 14 days or anything like that, it is 30 days. We can guarantee that, so you don't have to stress on that. Again, because this is a very unique setup that Mike's been able to do for me, that I can then pass on to you guys. That might just be one little tweak that they haven't updated there, but don't worry, it is 30 days. So Mike, let you take over.
Yeah, that's for sure. If anything, there might be like an email that you might be getting as part of like an email autoresponder that says 14 days, but the actual link with Luke is guaranteed that you'll have 30 days. So definitely you guys are locked in on that, which again will give us enough time to really walk you through this strategy over the next 30 days. So without further ado, let me jump in. I'm going to share a PowerPoint with you. It'll be the same that we shared last week, and then I'm going to kind of go into some tactical training as far as how I was able to use this and how other people that I've worked with and personally brought on to high level have used this to create millions and even tens of millions of dollars in recurring revenue in their business. So let me go ahead and open this up here. So the title here is Welcome to the Future of Marketing, and I'll show you a little bit of why that is. But let's talk about a little bit of the past of marketing. So my opinion is that sales and the number one and number two thing that impacts sales has not changed in the last 100 years. The number one and number two thing that impacts sales is, number one, a quality lead source, and number two is nurturing, which really comes down to communication. Now, the forms of those have changed over the last 100 years. Obviously, 100 years ago, your leads probably came from word of mouth or maybe the newspaper, and nurturing was probably done, primarily in person. But that the core of it hasn't changed, right? What has changed is that now fast forward to today, and we've got more lead sources and more communication channels than ever, right? Now with leads, we know that online is really where it's at. I mean, most of the big success stories that we see out there are catapulted through paid ads, through Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, now TikTok, and using things like funnels, website, and lead capture forms. And then nurturing, we have more communication channels than ever, right? So now we have email, we have text, phone, chat, CRM, voicemail, Facebook and Instagram Messenger, calendar bookings, which are even a form of communication, courses, which are even a form of communication, and then even 5-star reviews that'll be on your site or your client's site are also a form of communication, right? And so these are really the things that drive sales, right? And this has not changed in the last 100 years. So looking at these, let me get a 2 in the chat if you're looking at this list here, and if you agree that you need most or all of these things to be successful online, let me get a 2 in the chat. All right, 2s, lots of 2s. So I'm going to show you guys something cool that you may or may not have thought about. I know I didn't think about it, but watch the screen for me real quick. Okay, you guys watching the screen? All of these things that we all kind of agree that we need to have in our business are all apps, right? Kind of gives me goosebumps. So this is kind of where we are at, or this is what I'm going to refer to as phase 2, right? Phase 1 we're going to talk about is coding from scratch, and this way of kind of looking at things is what I call phase 2 of software, kind of in this space. And what that means is that it's all kind of been appified. So when I got started in this, I'm kind of a dinosaur when it comes to the internet marketing world and just the online tech world. I've been in it for over 15 years now. I was coding a lot of stuff from scratch. I'm actually out here in Las Vegas with Chris Record. If any of you guys know Chris Record, we're working on some projects right now. But I was even thinking back to when me and Chris first worked together, which was about 15 years ago. I was flying. I'm in Vegas right now visiting him, but I'm originally from Maui, and I was flying 24 hours on Air India because I had to get stuff coded over there because we had a project that was costing 6 figures overseas that would have cost 7 figures here in the US, right? And at the time that was the only option. Now fast forward to where we are today, And a lot of those things that we had to code from scratch we don't have to code from scratch anymore. They've all been appified, right? So now we have apps for email like MailChimp, or Community for text, or CallRail for phone call recording, or things like Slide Broadcast for voicemail drops, Live Chat for your chat on your website, Pipedrive for your CRM, Calendly for your calendar, ClickFunnels for your funnels, ManyChat for Facebook and Instagram Messenger, Podium for reviews, Kajabi for courses, right? All of these things are apps, right? Which is pretty cool because we don't have to code it anymore. And so let me kind of take you through a little bit of a kind of a chronological timeline here of how things have shifted. And this is kind of the paradigm shift that we've gone through. So phase one, which is kind of the phase that I initially kind of grew up in this world of making money online, was you had to code stuff from scratch, right? And what I showed you right there with all of these tools that we all agree that we need is phase two, which is things moving to apps. And this is kind of how things have been moving up till about, let's say, 5 years ago. And now we're moving into a new phase, and you're seeing this within a lot of companies, but High Level was really the pioneer for this, especially in the space that we're in, which is making money online, right? And this phase three is going into this world of super apps or Swiss Army knife apps. And so this whole movement, you guys can look it up on Google, is called the no code movement. And a lot of companies subscribe to this, whether it's Webflow or Zapier. A lot of companies kind of build their, kind of how they want to build their companies around having to have as little code for possible as you as the user. So phase one, which is where I came from, is basically this. You get a box and you get Legos and you got to build everything from scratch, right? This is the equivalent of having to code everything from scratch, right? This is the old way of doing things. Now with apps, it's like you go from having just a box of Legos, and now you open up the box and you've got the pirate ship pre-assembled, you've got the plane pre-assembled, you've got the castle, with Mickey and Minnie there, pre-assembled, right? So this is the idea of apps, because at the end of the day, what is an app? An app is just a piece of code, right? An app is just a piece of code that is easily accessible from you going on your phone or going on Shopify store and pushing the button and having that near perfect code basically sent to you in an instant, right? And so this is phase two. But what I'm going to talk to you about is this new wave that's coming, and there is a lot of opportunity for you guys to really be successful with this and make a lot of revenue in this new world of super apps, which is essentially like we open up the box, and now instead of having the castle pre-assembled or the pirate ship pre-assembled, we open up the box and we've got the whole Lego city fully pre-assembled, right? And so before we talk about that, let's talk about kind of where we're at kind of right now, which is phase two, which all of you guys are kind of familiar with, right? Which is this world of apps. We open it up and we've got this little piece of software pre-assembled. So if we look at the apps that we need in business, right? And this kind of goes back to what we all agreed on when everybody put a 2 in the chat, is there's certain core elements that we need to be successful, both with ourselves as a business online, and also if we're doing this for others. And so just to kind of go through those real quick, you need a web presence. So you would need a website builder. You need a way to capture leads. So you're going to need a funnel builder. You're going to need a way to capture info about a lead on your website. So you might need something like a Typeform. You're going to need a way to email leads. So an autoresponder, a way to text your leads. So texting automation. You're going to need a way to track and record phone calls. So you're going to need call tracking and recording. Sending voicemails. If you want to send ringless voicemails, you're going to need a tool for that. If you want a way to send Facebook Messenger or Instagram messages, you're going to need a tool for that. If you want a way to talk with people while they're on your website, like a live chat, you're going to need something for that. Manage your leads, you're going to need a CRM. Schedule your leads, you're going to need a calendar. Survey your leads, you're going to need a survey. And then if you want to generate 5-star reviews for your business or others, then you're going to also need a tool to do that as well. And then education is an amazing way to not only help your clients, but also to really build your own brand online. And so I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with course software as well. And so I'm from Hawaii, so when we have a rack of surfboards, we call that a quiver, our quiver of boards, right, for any size wave. And so this is kind of our quiver of apps. This is this is kind of our go-to, and these are the same things that you guys agreed on that first page, that I would need most or all of these things if I really want to be successful online. And so this is kind of what the stack looks like, okay? Except we're missing one piece, because these apps don't talk to each other, right? So these are all separate logins, separated softwares. These companies are not owned by the same people. These are all separate, right? So we need a way for these apps to talk to each other. And so to do that, we're going to need some kind of no-code API. And so we would use something, in this case, like Zapier. And Zapier would be a way that we could essentially tie all these guys together here, okay? So this really is the quiver that we would go to as far as our go-to marketing apps for making money online. Now, all of these apps have millions of dollars in development into them, but just to kind of give you like a little bit of an illustration so you can realize like how far we've come from the world of coding from scratch into the world of apps. Let's just say, and like I said, every single one of these apps has millions of dollars in development, but let's just say each one of these apps costs $250,000 to develop. To build these the old way with individual Lego blocks, you're talking about, $3-4 million worth of development. And that's not even the worst part, is that now you're going to wait years of time for this to be developed, right? And so this is kind of the old hat way of doing things. And so when apps came along, they really solved this problem, right? Because you're not spending that kind of money to develop these things from scratch. You're paying a monthly membership. Now, everybody's used to that these days, because it's funny, because like in the world of tech and making money online, things go so fast that we forget that old way of coding things from scratch was literally just 10, 15 years ago. But in internet days, that's like the dinosaurs, right? Like we just look at this now and we're like, oh, this is the norm. Like, why would we ever pay to code this kind of software when it just exists and I could just pay a monthly fee, right? It's the norm. But we have to also be present that this is very, very recent, that we've switched to this being the actual norm. And so this is a huge step up, right? Now, instead of spending, and by the way, these are like middle of the road packages, depending on, because like Kajabi obviously has more expensive packages. Same thing with Community, Podium, MailChimp. So these are kind of middle of the road packages when it comes to, if you had like, let's say a mid-sized business, this is about what you'd be spending per month on each of these tools, right? And so that being said, instead of spending, $3-4 million, now to have all these apps, you're spending $3,500 a month, or $3,500 to $4,000 a month. Now, obviously, this is better than spending millions of dollars and waiting months and months, if not years, for development. But this is also a pretty hefty bill, right? And so there's two major reasons why people don't have all these apps that we need, right? Because it's like everybody agrees we need all these things. If we want to be successful online, we need most or all of these things. Everybody agrees to that. But if I were to ask who has all of these on there, or who has 80 or 90% of these, most of you probably wouldn't, for two reasons. One, because you're going to have a $3,500 bill. So now all of a sudden it becomes an issue of, okay, which ones are the most important, right? Like we want all of them, but now we're going to start cutting some out because of two things. One, we want to get this bill down, because if we do this for the year, it's going to cost us $40,000. But there's another side of it too, because with this, the good news is you get instant access, right? That's what the problem that apps solve, is the time and the money problem, right? So you don't have to spend, hundreds of thousands, if not millions, on development. And instead of, having to wait for somebody to code an email autoresponder or a texting autoresponder or a CRM or live chat on your website or any of these things, we now with apps have instant access, right? So they solved a huge problem of time and money, right? But they created a problem in the process, right? They created collateral damage, if you will. And the collateral damage that happened through the apps, or the new problem that was created, was that all of these things are now separated, right? So not only are we now having to pay several monthly bills, in this case, we have what, 14, 15 things on here that you have to pay for. But now we have 14 or 15 different logins and passwords, right? So not only is it, we don't want to spend that kind of money to have all these things, even though we really should be using all of these things if we're successful online. But who the heck wants to manage that many logins and passwords, right? This is a real problem. This is a problem for not only you, not only me, but businesses even more so, right? If you go, I mean, I work with personal injury attorneys, doctors, you know, every single day, and these guys are like top of the food chain when it comes to business people, right? But they're scared of technology. I mean, even the top, you know, let's say personal injury attorney who's making, you know, tens of millions of dollars a year, they don't want to mess. I mean, even if, let's say, the money's not an issue, them or their staff don't want to be logging into 4 different things a day, let alone 5, let alone 6, let alone 15, right? So this is the major collateral damage that happened with this whole advent of apps, right? And so again, in this case, you're having to manage 15 logins and 15 passwords. And the reality is that just nobody's going to do it, right? So now it's a factor of, even if you wanted to go and spend $3,500 and you're like, Mike, you know, I want to have all these apps because I think I need all these things. It's like, who the heck is going to log into that many things every single day? The answer is nobody, or at least nobody that's going to have a happy life, right? So, and then again, with these apps, you're still at square one, right? Because now you have 15 different things that you need to configure, right? So if you're a business, or even for yourself, you have to hire a designer to do each of these apps and to learn these apps, hire copywriting to go into these apps and do all the copy, and hire multiple app experts in all 15 of these apps. And it just becomes a problem. Either that, or you have to go and learn them, which is even more of a daunting task, right? And so we ask, you know, how much more will that cost to do, and how long will that take? There has to be a better way, right? And so this is really where phase 3 comes into place. Now you're seeing this with other companies, right? But High Level is really the pioneer to say, okay, we solved the time and money problem with bringing apps to the marketplace, but we created this collateral damage in the process, which is a big bill and 15 and more than that, 15 logins and 15 passwords where all of your data is separated, right? If you want to respond to somebody on email, on your email autoresponder, you got to go to this app. If somebody texts you and you want to respond over there, you got to go to this app. If somebody sent you a Facebook or Instagram, you got to go to this app. If someone hits you up with a live chat on your website, you got to go to this app. It's just, again, it's one of those things where, like, even if you wanted to do it, it's just, you're not going to do it because it's just way too much work. So High Level took this idea, and it's pretty cool. They didn't invent anything new. So Sean, who's the CEO of High Level, and by the way, these guys have grown massively. I don't think I've seen any other company grow as fast as High Level has. I mean, in the last 3 years, they grew to over $500 million company, right? I was helping them with their private equity raise. Like I mentioned, I did all, you know, helped Ty and Alex Mayer with their raise. Actually ran over $100 million worth of funding, and we ran it all through High Level. So High Level was literally the control center where we ran, you know, 7 figures in ads, and we're able to bring on 9 figures in investment money. But all of that was done, you know, through High Level. But you know, in the process of you know, helping them with this private equity round, when they brought in money, and they brought in money at, you know, about a $500 million valuation, you know, Sean came out to visit me in Maui, and we went out to coffee, and he reiterated to me, which I think is just so crazy to think about, is he's like, Mike, no one's growing faster than us, and we didn't build anything new, nothing. He's like, this is what we did. You know, it's like they took these apps that already existed, and they recognized this huge problem is that you, as an internet marketer who wants to make money online and be efficient and knows that you need these quiver of tools, or as a business who wants the same thing, the managing of multiple logins and multiple passwords was a humongous problem. And so that's what they solved, and they didn't build anything unique. They just took the best of the best of the best of what was out there, and they put it under one login. That was their mantra, and they're still doing it. They're actually releasing a whole nother wave of apps coming out here in the next couple weeks. It's going to be crazy. So this is where they're at right now, but they're actually having their conference in October. Funny enough, I'm actually performing a rap video with Chris Record on stage at the conference, but they're going to be releasing a whole nother set of apps. So they're going to be covering even a broader gamut of the things that we need as marketers. But even how it sits right now is
I was going to say
incredible.
so The return of the rap
Oh, go
videos,
ahead.
mate. How good is that? And the live raps. I've never seen you on one. For those that know Chris, know that he loves doing his live raps. So I'm excited to see that one, Mike. I think I'd even pay for that. And that could be a hard to get product.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, while I'm out here, right, we recorded it over the weekends. Then we got to film the music video. So I'm definitely outside of my comfort zone, but it's all good. It's fun.
It's all happening. One thing I was going to say as well is that if you guys have been playing around inside of high level, it's that when things happen in the industry, you just get them. It's just in like as part of the membership there as well, or even a part of the trial, you'll see that they've got a bunch of AI creators in there now for different things, for content, for email writing. They're always on top of what's happening now in the market and getting those features out to you guys as it happens, which is really cool to see. Um, and it's a difference again between a lot of JV products and smaller vendors that do a launch. This is what you get. Yeah, yes, you might pay a one-time tiny fee, but in 6 months' time, the product's obsolete and it's really not that useful after all, right? Where this, again, so much like whatever's happening in the market, whatever's working is always implemented in high level, and I just love that.
Yeah, I mean it's a game changer. I mean, I've been around the JV Zoo community for a little bit. I mean, Chris was #1 on JV Zoo for a bit, as well as Luke. And so I've seen that a lot, right? Where you have these softwares that come out and they're kind of more patched together, if you will, a little bit, and they solve a problem, but they're not necessarily like building like a long-term solution. Whereas with high level, this is a whole different ball game. I mean, this is stuff where I'm going to show you examples at the end of this call where it's not just, even small agencies like mine that have been able to get up into the 7 figures using this as a practitioner, actually selling this to businesses and using it in my own business. But there's businesses going up and doing, $20 million plus, literally leveraging, this same software. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit about that.
Yeah, and just on that with JV Zoo, I think Chris was when I was coming up in the industry, Chris was #1 on JV Zoo, and then I think he had the realization that because the thing that just on a side note on how JV Zoo works for a lot of vendors is that someone will launch a product and they'll put not much effort into it, but they'll get all their friends to promote it, and then when they've got this new email list, they'll burn it by hitting 20 offers in a month, and then because they have to reciprocate to everyone else, and it's just a really messed up system. Whereas you guys know I don't promote that many things or share that many offers compared to literally the majority. I actually go into them and actually try these products out and see if the funnels actually work, and all of these, like, I actually put some time into it, and then you usually just say no. And it's interesting to see how upset some people get when I just say no, I'm not going to share this. And I even get people like right now. I had one vendor, I'm not going to say who it is, but he was so pissed off at me because I said I'm not doing anything for the next month. I'm not sharing anything, and I haven't shared this individual's products for years, just because, in my opinion, they haven't been good. He's gone to the extent of even messaging not just my partner saying, "Hey, Luke's not responding to me. Can you get him to respond?" But also my mum. And I'm like, that is probably the worst way to ever get me to do anything, is to message my partner or my mum in terms of promoting something. And I just, yeah, it's a wild world. But I guess like in any industry, you'll always find some interesting people.
Yeah, and I mean, the cool thing about though with JV Zoo and that sort of thing is that it brought together the ability for having these big affiliates that can help these companies to grow, and that's kind of the base of how High Level was able to grow, was with really big affiliates helping. Like now we have everybody from Frank Kern using it to Ty Lopez to Dan Fleischman using it for all of his events, 100 Million Mastermind, Agents, Avengers Mastermind, all of his big things. Just a lot of big names, in the industry now are getting behind this. Not only even internet marketers, but even like in my space, working with, and we're going to kind of show you kind of the push the purple dinosaur way that you can easily get into the agency game. But there was competitors in my space. One of them comes to mind is a company called Clearstone, and they had hundreds of thousands of dollars invested into building their own version of high level to kind of compete. But high level was moving so fast, and they had, you know, so much momentum behind them that Clearstone, as well as many other companies that were trying to do the same thing, pretty much like halfway through development, after they're already 6 figures into developing, we're just like, you know what, we're not going to beat these guys. Let's just white label it. And so they literally just like shut down development and signed up with high level for, you know, $297 a month and white labeled it and called it a day. And so anyway, so it's one of those things where, you know, this is just a tool where, you know, I don't know if high level is always going to be the leader. I don't know if they're always going to be like the breakout success, but right now, 100% they are, right? And so it's like, to me, it's like all about catching the wave, right? And so, you know, in Hawaii, one of the most well-known entrepreneurs out there is a guy named Hank Rogers. He made hundreds of millions of dollars developing a little-known software. You guys might have heard of it, called Tetris. But he likes to give an analogy of entrepreneurship being a lot like surfing. And in surfing, what is the most important factor of getting a high score in surfing? If anybody knows this, you can put it in the chat. What is the most important factor of getting a high score in surfing? Catching a great wave, catching the wave. Okay, those are close. I'll give you a couple more chances here. Anybody know? Riding a wave. All right. So these are all answers that I would have probably given. The answer is actually somewhat obvious. Let's see if anybody gets it. Staying upright, form, riding inside. So style. So these are all great answers. By the way, I didn't get this right either. The correct answer is the most important part of getting a high score in surfing is wave selection, right? You can ride your butt off, do all the tricks in the world, but if you don't pick the right wave, if your wave selection isn't correct, then you'll never get the optimal score in surfing, right? And so step one is wave selection. And so that's why I've always tried to be like on top of whatever the wave is. I mean, I've known Luke back since the print on demand days. And my very first month in the industry, I was #1 in the entire print on demand industry. We did 1.3 million in sales. You know, some of you guys might have seen some of those videos I did with Chris, but literally I, you know, took a course. Like, I'm a product of online courses, whereas some people, you know, might say, oh, I took online courses and, you know, you know, a bunch of BS, like nobody makes any money, whatever. Like, I can speak from my own experience. Like, I took a course from Chris Record. It was called Penny Click Profits at the time. Learned the basics. Then I had some mentoring with Chris, which I'm a huge believer in, which is why we're going to be doing live trainings for this. And we're going to be doing live trainings for 30 days, because you can learn everything from online. I mean, you could learn everything from YouTube, right? But the problem is that you're not going to get it in sequential order, right? If you're and you're trying to go to Z, and A is where you're at, and Z is ultimately you making, you know, the kind of money you want to make, doing the kind of thing you want to do, then you got to get all the letters in between A and Z, right? And if you go onto YouTube, you're going to find A, you're going to find D, you're going to find X, you're going to find K, and you're going to have, it's hard to put it all together, right? And so that's where I'm a big believer in learning from courses, learning from videos, you know, doing a lot of self-learning so that I can have A, B, C, but maybe I'm missing D. Then I got E, F, G, maybe I'm missing H. And then being able to tune into live trainings and be like, hey, Luke, or hey, Mike, I got A, B, and C, but I'm missing D. And then we can come in, and if you're working with somebody that knows A to Z, that's done A to Z, you know, many times, then they can quickly and easily come in and help you and say, oh, well, here's D, or here's K, and they can fill in the gaps on that. And so with this, I feel like this is the wave right now. Like, we're going into this wave of companies at scale, especially local businesses, needing to make this switch into having one login and one password for their whole business. And so we're going to show you a way through free trials that you can do this and literally make a fortune, and you don't even have to sell anything. And that's why I made the switch. Like, I was a big believer in print on demand when I was in it, because at the time that was the wave. I was #1 in the entire space. But now I'm a huge believer that this is the wave, and I'm not only here teaching it to you guys because I want to, you know, support high level and support Luke and support your guys' success, but I'm still currently a practitioner in it. So my agency, Apex Agency, like I do this every day from an actual selling it to business level, but I'm going to show you guys exactly how I do it so that you guys can have a way that you can plug in very easily. Because for me personally, I love to learn from practitioners who actually are doing it. Like that's my favorite favorite type of person to learn from. Like I love learning from great teachers, but I will take a great practitioner who's actually done it, like Hermosi as an example. I'm going to show you a lot of parallels. I mean, he almost used high level and actually did use high level for a little while, but you know, he's to me, he's a great guy to learn from because not only is he a great speaker, author, but he's went and built $100 million essentially agency business, which I'm gonna show you guys later in the call.
Yeah, and just to touch on that one as well, you know, like Mike was saying how we learned some of that with Chris, and Mike knows this. I'm sure a bunch of you guys know on this call that have been with me for a while, but it was the same with me, and I went through a bunch of different products and different things when I first started, and I ended up on a course that was with a guy called Kelly Felix and Mike Long, called Bring the Fresh, and it was the same thing. And I remember throughout the week I would do the work that I'd learned in the course, and I'd jump on a live call, and Mike would be there. And a lot of you guys met Mike maybe a couple of months ago, when we did a call with him. Just so much energy. I wish I had 30% of the energy that guy has. I think Mike here and Mike Long, we've all hung out once before, and he's just entertainment, always high energy. But I'd come to him saying, look, this is what I've done, this is where I'm stuck, and he would help me, and then I was like, oh, thank goodness. And that's what we want you guys to do here as well. And I've seen a bunch of you guys in the comments have started implementing some stuff inside of high level as well. So and you've got your own questions here as well, which again I'll get to. We'll do a questions and answer a bit later on. But yeah, you guys are on the right track with this one. And again, it's also why I said this whole month, this is just what we're going to do, and I might even continue it on afterwards as well, for those that are interested as well. Each week, just get on with you guys. So, but yeah, Mike, I'll let you get back over. I know I went left the field a bit, but I hope you guys got something out of it.
All right, so I'll go through this the rest of this here, and then we'll kind of jump into some tactical stuff. And so, you know, we're talking about what you can provide for your clients. You know, if it's expert designs, expert copy, integrations, and their staff trained in 24 hours. So this is kind of the message that you can deliver to clients by bringing them the software. And we're going to show you how you can make a ton of money and you don't have to sell anything. You can literally just lead with a free trial, which to me is the best part about sales, is being able to have a good product. You only need to have sales skills if you're selling something that's not that great, right? If you have an incredible product that's literally setting the standard in the whole industry, which is getting everybody to convert. I mean, literally, Ty Lopez, I got him to convert. He went a little bit kicking and screaming because he wanted to use Salesforce, which would, you know, cost him a few $100,000, but he converted. You know, his brother, who's a huge ClickFunnels advocate, Ty Lopez's brother, Ben, so you guys may know, but he converted now full-time to high level. Obviously, you've seen Billy Jean converted, Frank Kern, you know, all these big people are now moving, you know, this direction, and there's a reason. And so when you have something that's that good, you don't have to sell it. You can literally just give it away as a 30-day free trial, and the stick rate is like 80% plus because it's so dang good, right? And so that's the kind of position we want to put you in with, you know, whether you're offering this to other marketers as an affiliate, or you're doing what I did and what other companies have done and bringing this to the agency world, right? The small business world of, I like to personally focus on high ticket because you can make a lot more money that way, but doctors, lawyers, roofers, solar companies, HVAC, all these kind of companies, just literally, if you can just get them on a free trial, they will stick for a long, long time. And there's tons of other products that you can plug in that you can make just a fair amount of revenue on. So to kind of dive back into the benefits here, we have the main benefit, right? Which is in high level to save money. There's high level to save money in that you're getting, you know, $4,000, $3,500 worth of software for $300, right? You're also saving brain damage because now you actually, for the first time ever, don't have to have 15 logins and passwords. You have one login, one password, and you have all the best apps in the world built into this thing, and it's seamless. I mean, they crushed it, right? I mean, you're not going to convert guys like Ty Lopez, Dan Fleischman, Frank Kern, Billy Jean. Like, you're not going to convert these guys over to using this software over ClickFunnels or over these giants that have been out there unless the quality is there, right? So they crush the quality just out the gate. But now you have these extra benefits that come with it, right? And so this is probably one of the biggest ones, not even probably, it definitely is one of the biggest ones. And it's called unified messaging. So now, because we have text and email and live chat and Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger, email, all of it under one software. Now what that means is that we have all of the communication gets unified, right? So now, instead of us, like, let's say here we have Lindsay. If we went to Lindsay and we wanted to see what we emailed her, we'd have to go to MailChimp. And if we wanted to see what we texted her, we'd have to go to Community or Scipio or whatever texting app we're using. Or if we wanted to see the call recording from our salesperson or from ourselves, we'd have to go to CallRail. Or if we wanted to see what they were talking about or what she was talking about on Facebook, we'd have to go to Messenger or to ManyChat. So we'd have to go all these different directions, and we're not going to do it. So what ends up happening is communication gets lost really quickly, or we have to funnel people down specific communication channels that they might not want to use, right? Because maybe we don't have all these things because we don't want to have all the logins. So now we're like, well, we're just going to do email then. Okay, well, great. You're going to miss out on like 80% of your business because 80% of people would prefer to text, call, Facebook Messenger over email. So now you're losing business, right? So with this, it brings it all together. So you not only have the benefit of having one login, one password, but now you bring up a person, like in this case, Lindsay, and you can see, okay, well, she called us and she left a message, or she left, we had a call with her and it recorded it, or there was a voicemail, or there was a Facebook Messenger, and then we Facebook Messenger back, and then she emailed, and then we emailed her back, and then she texted, we texted her back, we did live chat, then we live chatted her back, right, from the website. All of that is sequential. So you can literally just bring up whoever that person is, and you can see all of that communication in one line. This is one of the biggest things that gets everybody to stick. This got me to stick. I use it for all my businesses and all the businesses I work with. This is like, again, another goosebumps moment, but this is like game changer stuff, because it's like, you've never been able to do this before, right? So it's like, not only do we have one login and one password, but now for the first time ever, we have unified communication, which is, like I said, just game changer stuff. CRM pipelines. I've used a lot of CRMs in my day. I was testing everything from Insightly back in the day to Salesforce, and the best CRM I've ever used by far is Pipedrive. Pipedrive is what's called a visual CRM. It's the same thing as what you see here, because again, they modeled the very best of the best software. So they're very smart at high level. So they went and picked Pipedrive to model, and I'm so glad they did, because I am a avid tester of many CRMs, and Pipedrive is by far the best out there because of its visual nature. These are all drag and drop cards right here. So Pipedrive was the first one to ever make this, where you could have these drag and drop cards where you could at a glance see that I've got, in this case, 22 leads not scheduled, 4 scheduled, 35 that were called, 5 that I'm working on, 44 that don't qualify, and then I can drag and drop these guys anywhere in. So the only problem with Pipedrive was, again, it's another separate software. Now in high level, you have it all built in. Calendar, obviously they copied Calendly for that, best calendar software out there. So you've got a full-blown working version of Calendly. You can see here it's literally identical. You got a sequence builder here. So they've updated this actually since I made this graphic, but game changer stuff as far as sequence builder. So when you're building your communication for yourself or your clients, you can do text, email, Facebook, Instagram, Messenger. They even have WhatsApp now, integrates with TikTok now. You can leave ringless voicemails, literally all of the communication in one. These are some example campaigns. Live chat, like I mentioned, live chat is super smooth on here because live chat again becomes another software that has to be managed. So everybody here would agree that you want live chat on your website. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Whether it's your website or a client's, having a little bubble that pops up that says, "Hey, chat with us," it brings business. I mean, they've done so many studies on it, and it increases business performance by like double-digit percentages. So it's a staple that you want to have. Unfortunately, a lot or most people don't have it because, again, it becomes a separate software. Or now, if I want to have live chat on my site, I got to have a whole separate login that I got to log into every day and now manage the communication in there, which we don't need any more logins. So this is super smooth because, again, it's all unified, and the live chat here becomes a text opt-in. So when the bubble pops up and it asks if you have a question, you type your question in, and then you type in your cell phone number, and it'll bring that conversation into that unified messaging where you see the text and the email and all the other messaging. It'll bring it into that unified messaging, and then it becomes a text conversation back and forth. So it's really cool. It's like basically having live chat integrated into your unified messaging, and it becomes a text opt-in as well. So now you have them opted in via text, which is, to me, just as smooth as you can get. Funnel Builder, they built an entire working version of ClickFunnels. So literally every feature of ClickFunnels is built in here. So you'll never have to use ClickFunnels again. It's literally an exact duplicate of ClickFunnels. And I don't know if you guys saw in the last call, but you can even bring in entire funnels that are built on ClickFunnels. So like we did one where I just grabbed one, like a really nice funnel that Dan Fleischman had for his Money Mondays, and pulled it over, and gives you the whole thing in like minutes, and it just gives you a nice easy way that you can build off of templates.
What he means by that as well is that you just literally grab a URL, the URL of any ClickFunnels funnel, and just paste that in, and it literally just rebuilds it for you inside of High Level. So and I'm going to show some examples of that after Mike's done later on today.
Integrations, this tab has also grown since I built this, but you have everything from Google, Facebook, Instagram for lead ads, TikTok for lead ads, Stripe. So all of the integrations are all built in, nice and easy. Dashboard and a review generator. So you've got a full-blown working version of Podium. So if you want to generate reviews for yourself or for your clients, I mean, this is a couple $100 worth of software just on its own that you can do review generation. This is a big one that we're going to teach over the coming month. But again, generating 5-star reviews for clients is a big one. And that is it. So high level, the synopsis, your business, one login. So hope you guys enjoyed that. I want to get into some tactical stuff with you. Let me go ahead and Luke, did you have anything else you want to share? I'm going to kind of jump into some TikTok training.
Yeah, no, I think that's perfect. I'm excited for the TikTok training too, and I know a lot of people have been emailing me saying, "Oh, I can't wait to see it, can't wait to see it." I remember last week, heaps of people were saying, "Oh, wait till you see the TikTok training." For the few people that have seen it with Chris's audience, and I'm excited to see a bit further from what you shared last week and teased on that training. I could have sat there for another hour or two watching that. So I'm happy today's here for that. So if you're excited for the TikTok training, write me in the chat box. Get Mike excited. I'm excited. And this is again, as I've said in the past few weeks. Well, I always say this actually. Everything is just an offer and a traffic source, right? Every online business, every business in general. I always use the example of if there's a restaurant. Who's their traffic source? It's people that are hungry, that are either walking by or that want to order on Uber Eats or whatever it might be. But the traffic source is hungry people, and there's it's when you can connect the right traffic source with the right offer, things can go pretty crazy. And the way we're teaching you this with the free trial method, it's an absolute no-brainer. Mike, I think your screen and camera's your camera's dropped off. That's all right. If you want to just have it be the whiteboard for now, that's totally fine. But what I want to do as well, there he is again. Cool. All right. Well, I'll let you jump into it, Mike, unless you need a few more minutes to get anything prepared, and I can just keep talking with everyone, make sure everyone's excited. There's lots of me's. Let's do it. Let's go. Excited. Yeah. I think you're on mute still.
All right, let me jump in here. So
So,
yeah, so let's kind of talk a little bit high level about high level. So what we're gonna kind of be doing here is looking, and so let's talk about some examples, I guess, of kind of how this works. So when we talk about your guys' free trial, you have 30 days, right? There's within high level, it's kind of unfair because you're able to access unlimited accounts for $297. So after the 30-day trial, their core subscription is $297 a month, right? You're able to create. So remember we looked at that screen before, and it was, you know, all of those softwares. If you were to buy them all individually, it was something like, let's see here, it was something like $3,500, and I would say that's actually a low estimate. It's probably closer to $4,000, right? And you're getting that essentially, you know, like I said, 30-day trial, risk-free, but then after that, it's $297. So if you just got one of those accounts, that would be worth it, right? I mean, you'd basically be getting, I mean, just ClickFunnels alone costs $297, right? So you're basically, it's like you're going to the like the clearance section, and it's like buy one get 14 free. That's essentially what it is, right? So it's like the biggest no-brainer ever, even just for yourself to save money, not to mention the headache you're saving by basically, you know, having everything in one login, one password, right? But this is not how high level works. You don't just get one of these. You get, we'll put an X like times, that's my little infinity symbol here,
oh, that's
times.
good. That's a good infinity. See, if I tried that, I would have done a star of Bethlehem or something, and it would have ended up trying to be an infinity sign. Well done.
So you get infinite amount of these, right? And so to give you an example, like I'll show you an example of a client I personally brought on. Like I brought on hundreds of doctors through my own agency, but you know, it's kind of where the what it's like the student eclipses the teacher. Well, I taught somebody how to do this, and they also work with doctors, but instead of bringing on hundreds of doctors like I brought on, they brought on 5,000 doctors doing this, okay? So the way that this works is that they were able to bring on, and again, every doctor that they're bringing on and essentially doing it through a free trial, which is what we're going to show you, so you don't even have to sell this. You can literally just give these people a free trial. They're getting the same deal, right? They're getting, I mean, and we're going to share even like my PowerPoint with you so you guys can go and present the exact same way I did. And people are going to see, hey, you can get $3,500 worth of software for $297. And in fact, we'll give you a 30-day free trial so you guys can, so that the doctors and the different people that you reach out to, we'll show you the best niches that we work with, can experience that $3,500 worth of software under one login and one password, and they can get it for $297 after the 30 days is over. But here's the thing, you get to keep 100% of that revenue because you get to create infinite accounts, right? So the way this works, like for DearDoc as an example, they would pay $297 one time, right? Or one time per month, right? But that's their monthly, right? They sold 5,000 doctors. I'll show you their website, but if we just do some simple math here, 5,000 doctors times, and we'll just use even numbers here so we don't break our brain, but times $300 a month, they're making $1.5 million per month. Okay. Now, I work very closely with high level. In the world of software, it is not necessarily supposed to work like this. When you work with like Salesforce or any of these big companies, generally when you get up to that level of sales, you have to pay per user. So it wouldn't cost, like Joe Brown is over here, the owner, basically pay, I mean, he has a few upgrades, so he's still paying under $1,000 a month because he has like his custom app and a bunch of stuff that you don't even need, that he could easily just get to these numbers without that. But essentially, for $297 a month, he's able to pay that, create infinite number of accounts, and then resell it and make over $1 million a month residually, and keep 100% of the money that he's bringing in. The thing here is that with your 297, you get unlimited accounts, right? For the people that you're going to be selling to in the local business world, they don't care about having unlimited accounts. What they do care about is having enough accounts that they have their business locations covered, which is generally one. Most businesses generally just have one location. Obviously, you'll run into some that have 2 or 3 or 5 or whatever, but they just want to have enough accounts to cover their locations, which you're going to be able to create infinite accounts. And they want to be able to have what are called, we call these the snapshots. And this is something that's built into High Level that they pioneered, which are basically Xerox copies of the material that they would need to be successful. That material would include email scripts, texting scripts, maybe if you had like a funnel built in a niche. So the way that High Level works is you're able to copy all of this stuff over. And this is where we're going to be talking about this. Let's see, I'm going to open up a new screen here. So you're going to be able to, so the way that snapshots work is you're able to Xerox copy this stuff over to a client. We like to talk about something called return on time. Okay. I would always ask people when I was, I would teach years ago, I would say, do you want to make $1 million a year, or do you want to make $100,000 a year? And then everybody would say $1 million a year. Be like, okay, well, all things being equal, that's the right answer. But what if I told you that for the 100,000 a year, you only had to work 1 hour a month, but for the $1 million a year, you had to do 100 hours a week. So 1 hour a month for the 100 grand, or 100 hours a week, essentially 400 hours a month to get the $1 million. Well, now you're looking at it and you're like, ooh, I definitely want the $1 million, but these numbers aren't adding up, right? I might want to just take that 100,000 for the 1 hour a month and figure out how to do that 10 times over. And now I'm making the same $1 million for 10 hours a month versus 400 hours a month, right? And so that's how we want to be thinking. So snapshots are something that really allow us to maximize this return on time, right? Because ultimately, this is how we are able to scale. So when you have this account and you're building this out for businesses, you're able to make a Xerox copy. So ClickFunnels was kind of the first to pioneer this a little bit with funnels. It was called share funnels, right? And many of you probably saw this in the world of ClickFunnels, where I could build a funnel, and essentially I could share that funnel with you if you signed up with me, right? So if you sign up with me, you're going to get my funnels, right? Pretty clever, because now I can get you to sign up for ClickFunnels, or I can get you to sign up for my package if by you wanting my funnel. So it's like, hey, just sign up for this tool you're going to need anyway, but if you sign up through me, you're going to get my funnels. Well, High Level saw how effective this was, and they said, well, what if we build these things called snapshots, which are essentially the same thing, but for every software, right? Imagine a Xerox copy for every software that we just mentioned. So now what happens is, when you dive into a niche, like I dove into regenerative medicine, right? And I also dove into personal injury attorneys, and there's other niches we'll talk about too. When you build it out for one company, right? You might put a good amount of time into it. You might say, hey, I'm going to build these text sequences that I think are good for this niche. I'm going to build these, these email sequences. I might even build a funnel. I might set up how the live chat works. I might set up the CRM pipelines and the different stages of the pipeline that I think would work well for that niche. And you're going to build out all of these different apps that you saw, the 15 different apps. You're going to, and we're going to actually give you snapshots that you can actually not even have to build it the first time. You can actually just work off of our snapshots. But the crazy thing is once you have it built once, that took X number of time, right? So you have it built one time, and all of those things equals X number of hours that you built it, right? Which means that when they, and in this case, it's like this equals value, right? So X number of hours equals this value that we're delivering to the client, right? And so maybe this is $10,000 worth of value. So when we're saying, hey, if you sign up for like we're like a Deer Doc, right? And we're like, hey, we want to get to $1 million a month, or we want to get to 100,000 a month, or we want to get to 10,000 a month residually, whatever it is. Hey, if you sign up for our 30-day link, we're going to include all of this value, these pre-built things, text, email, funnel, etc. Right? If you sign up with us, right? They get that value and they're like, heck yeah, I'm going to do it through you, because if I went to high level direct, I'm going to pay $297 anyway. They're going to give me unlimited accounts, which I don't need. But what I do need is all of this stuff built out, which you're going to give me right here in this Xerox copy. So when I sign up through you, I'm going to get all my emails, text, funnels, all that stuff done. I'm not going to have to think about it, right? But here's the cool part. When you make a Xerox copy for client number 2 or client number 3 or client number 10 or client number 1000, there are no hours, right? This is literally you pressing the copy button all the way down. If you want to press the copy button all the way down to pressing the copy button 1,000 times. So, but you're still delivering the same value, right? So you're still able to deliver that same $10,000 worth of value to all of these clients, but it's not taking you any more hours, right? And so this is why High Level is literally the GOAT software when it comes to return on time, because you can, especially we're going to show you how to stick in a niche like Deer Doc did, and I'll show you their website. You can kind of see what a $20 million a year company looks like that resells High Level. But again, they are the GOAT at this, right? They're the GOAT at allowing you to have complete time freedom and being able to, like in their case, stay in the doctor niche and build it out over and over and over and over again, right? And so this is where you guys are really going to be able to excel, because again, we're not selling anything, right? We are just giving away 30-day free trials, right? So what would happen if you got 100 clients, right? Not 5,000 like Deer Doc. Let's just say you got 100. That's it. 100, whoops, times $297 a month equals, right? And you're not even having to sell it. You're just giving these away. You're just giving away free trials. And like I said, High Level, if you do it right, you're going to have about an 80% stick rate. So, what does that mean? You're going to have to bring on, roughly 120, 125 people to have a stick rate of 100, and you're going to be in that $30,000 a month range, right? And so we're going to show you how to do that through free trials, right? Now, High Level becomes the control panel, right? Because we remember that slide, right, where it was sales, right? Hasn't changed in 100 years, right? And the number one and number two thing that impact it, you guys remember, quality leads and nurturing, which is all about communication, right? So High Level is going to cover this in spades. These are going to be all the communication channels built into one. That's what they're getting here. They're never going to leave, right? This is $3,000 to $4,000 worth of software a month. They're going to be getting it for $297 a month. Same price as they get it from High Level. They're never going to leave you, because again, you're going to be making those Xerox copies for them of all of the cool stuff in that niche, which again, we're going to be providing a lot of that, and then you guys are going to be able to build off of that. It's super cool. we're going to get more into it in the training, but it's just like when you understand this process and you really grasp how much you get for return on time and how much you can make doing this, it's unlike anything you've seen. So now we have to cover this side, right? So we have the nurturing side down. Now we need a lead source to plug in. Well, we know the lead sources, right? We've got Facebook, we've got Instagram, we've got TikTok. And so these are going to directly plug in to high level, where you can literally take somebody directly from a Facebook lead ad, directly from an Instagram lead ad, directly from a TikTok lead ad, and they're going to pipe directly in to high level. And so that's what I'm going to show you today. And Luke, I don't know if you have anything you want to say on this.
Yeah. I think just recapping what you were saying about, giving that, like, why, because I saw a few questions saying, okay, why would people go through here versus just going to the high level website, and can't we white label it and this and that? Look, there's so many things you can do with your license that you've got through this free trial. You can choose to white label it. You can choose to have it all branded in your branding and do it that way, but then you have to have your own support, and that's a whole another thing, but I'll probably talk about that in down the track webinars, or even just videos that I might put in the members area I'm giving you guys. But another thing people said it was, okay, well, do I have to charge $297? Look, that you can make a trial period be a week, a month. You can have your trial be auto rebuild to you, and we'll talk about that probably on today's training as well. Just has a simple way to set that up. But I wanted to say as well about the licenses. Say you go to a local business, and that's what we're teaching right now, is how the fastest way to get this to go from you just having your account that you can use for you, which in itself is huge value, but how to make money the fastest way possible. And with local businesses, they don't want to be going into a software and trying to figure out like what flows to set up, what templates to set up, what pages to set up, and if they went through high level direct, they would have to go and do all of that stuff manually, whereas this can give you that literal carbon copy way, just to copy the preset templates that we've already got in there. You add a few new ones if you want. You can change a few things around. We'll go into actually how to do all of that, maybe not if it's on this webinar, in a future one. But the goal is just to get the trial into the end user's hand, into a local business's hand, get them onboarded, get them implemented with and set up on that license. And the great thing is as well, is because you're doing it through your accounts or your sub accounts, high level will reach out to those clients as well and be able to help with anything needed as well. If they have a support question, you don't have to answer it. Their support team can handle it for you. And there's a lot of benefits of doing it that way. And again, they don't care about needing unlimited accounts, because say they have 2 businesses, 3 businesses, they can come to you and have it all set up and done for you through you, without having to do the work themselves. So there's a lot of the goal is, again, here is the free trial, but the traffic source to the free trial, get them on board, get them using and integrating the tool and seeing how it all flows and works together. So and I know that for those that are doing e-com or affiliate and what marketing as their core businesses, I'll be doing webinars and trainings on how to use it for those different sections as well. But this is without a doubt the easiest way to start making a recurring income, getting people indoctrinated into a system that just gets results and their core products that every business needs. So yeah.
Yeah, just to give you an example here, and I know I saw some questions in the chat that was like, isn't the affiliate commission 40%? So we're going to talk about 2 different things here, right? So one is, if you're bringing on other internet marketers that want to, use this as an agency, then yes, it pays 40%. But how a lot of people are using it is in the agency world. When you're building sub accounts, it's not 40%, you keep 100%. So this company here is a company I personally brought on to High Level. They started reselling High Level as their main product. And if you look here, they've got over 5,000 doctors on the program. It's actually funny because it was little over a year, almost 2 years ago, they almost broke the high level system because they had so many doctors on there. And so high level actually had to like retool the software so that it could handle that level of of clients. But these guys to get, and this is back on what Luke said, can you charge, do you have to charge 297? Can you charge more? Can you charge less? So I recommend charging 297. DeerDoc for the longest was charging 397. So they weren't even charging 297. The reason that I like 297 is that it matches the highest price of high level for their unlimited, right? So we're going to talk about this more in depth, and that's why I wrote on the other screen, I said learn from mentors or learn from mistakes, right? And so luckily I've done this at the agency level to the tune of 7 figures, where I've brought on, like I said, hundreds of doctors, and I'm the super affiliate manager for high level, and I've personally brought on clients like this that have dwarfed my numbers and done tens of millions of dollars a year reselling high level, right? So I've seen it all, and I'm going to be able to give you guys the exact game plan that you need to implement to be able to do this at whatever level. And so that's what you're going to be hearing a lot from me, is what I believe that is the easiest path to success, right? The best return on your time and the best return on lack of headache. And so the reason I say 297 is because you don't create any competition with high level, because they're going to see that their high-end package is 297 and your high-end package is 297. And we're going to show you how to not white label. Now, granted, you can white label if you want to, and people do white label, but we're going to be going through why not to white label, because it's going to allow you to not, and Luke could speak on this too, because he's been in the software game for a while, but a lot of people think they want to white label until they start getting questions about, well, how do I use the software, and how about this? And you're going to have clients that are going to have questions. Well, high level has a giant database of videos and materials that you could send them to, where they can basically learn anything and everything they want to know. Whereas when you white label, it creates extra work for you, and then at the end of the day, they're going to figure out it's high level anyway. So instead of going down that whole rabbit hole, which I've done, other companies have done, even DeerDoc's done, but what I've learned in this process, and what you can learn from me as a mentor, is to not do that, because it doesn't do anything for you. It might give you a little bit of pleasure to have your logo up at the top for a second, but the second you're having the customer service questions, you're immediately going to be like, look, it's high level, it's not me, like, go to them, right? And so that's what we want to set you up for success. So the reason we do the 297 is we match their price so that there's really never any competition. So that way, if you bring on 100 people and you're making, let's say, $30,000 a month off of just the software, and we're going to show you how you can make a lot more by selling other services like TikTok, like Facebook ads, and like all the lead sources that can plug directly into high level. But by matching the price, now you're not going to have competition. You can lean into that it's high level and not lean away from it like it's a white label. But you can still have all those benefits of being able to make 100% of the money by creating sub accounts. Because again, the 297 version of high level, if they go direct, is going to include unlimited accounts. None of these people you're going to be talking to are going to care about unlimited accounts. You might find 1 out of 100 businesses that's like, I want to have unlimited accounts. 99 out of 100 don't care. They're just going to want enough accounts to cover however many locations they have, which 90% of those are going to have 1 location. What they do want, again, is those snapshots, right? Those Xerox copies that you're going to be able to easily push a button, and with 1 push of a button, give them all the email sequences, all the texting sequences, all the funnels, all the live chat sequences, all the pipeline CRM, all of that built for that niche. You're going to be able to give them as your value add. So that's kind of the trade-off, right? If they get the 297 through your high level, granted they don't get enough, they don't get unlimited accounts, but they get enough accounts to cover their businesses or their locations. And most importantly, the thing they care about the most is you're going to give them all of those Xerox copies of the materials that they care about, right? All the email, text sequences, all that kind of stuff. So again, we're not going to teach you all of that on this training. This is kind of just to open your eyes to the possibilities and kind of show you. But over the next month, we're obviously going to be diving deep into exactly how I've been able to scale up, exactly how these companies have been able to scale up, and pretty much, give you guys the exact path you should go down to learn from, our collective mistakes.
Mm-hmm. And just touch on that as well. Again, always think about, okay, when I'm selling this, not about like, oh, I'm going to charge this and I can make this much, and should I charge more? Should I charge less? Or just think about this in terms of like the local business you're going after, or your prospecting. And again, high level, inside of high level, it does the prospecting for you. It searches different businesses where you can reach out to them, can do all of this really, really cool stuff. But what I wanted to mention on that is that a local business that's most likely already paying hundreds of dollars more, if not thousands, for all these different tools that they're running and automating. When you come to them and say, hey, like, this is what we can offer you, this is how much it'll be, but we're not even going to charge you that. Here's a 30-day trial. Let me help you implement it. And we've already got all the niche setup flows, templates, everything all ready to go for your niche, through our special link here. They can literally, they'll probably think you're BSing at first. When Mike first told me about this, I was like, surely not. Let me see if this tool does all these things in the one suite, and it actually does. And for a local business, paying $300 a month, that's what, 60, 70 bucks a week. And to them, that's more value than they could even imagine, and they probably won't even think it's real until they actually log into their trial. And the fact that you're not charging them up front, you can say, here's a free trial, removes any like, okay, this is a scam, this is too good to be true. They can actually go in, see, and again, local businesses just want to focus on what that local business does. They don't want to be going too high level and signing up and then, okay, I need to create a template, then I need to create the flow, and then I need to work this out, and then I need to then understand how can I then add in this email to go out on this day, and anything like that. They just want to be able to be set up with a system that works, that flows, and that's what you can provide with this. So yeah, just want to touch on that.
Awesome.
And then, sorry, the last thing I wanted to mention here as well, again, someone said about the 40% commissions. Look, there's a difference here between selling as an affiliate and selling with your unlimited licenses you get through your 30-day trial link here, which you can create those unlimited licenses and sub accounts now, where you will keep 100%. I did see someone reached out to support and said that they said, oh no, you only get 40%. That's in relation to if you're selling something as an affiliate. This is what your account, your special account through my link, you'll get unlimited sub accounts, and you can sell them for any price you want. But again, $297 is the sweet spot for all the reasons Mike just mentioned before. So you'll keep 100% of that. Just wanted to make that super clear.
Yeah, and again, this kind of just goes back to, like, look, we've tried everything. Like when High Level first came out and nobody knew about it, like I was probably one of the first 100 users or so. We were selling it for $797. So we were selling it for much, much more, and people were sticking. But the problem with that, and we were white labeling, right? So we were making money, but we were also making mistakes. And the money mistake is when people find out it's High Level. If you're charging $797 and they're seeing it for $297, well then obviously you're going to lose people in that way. And so that's why $297 is the sweet spot, right? And white labeling really creates more problems than it's worth. And so you can, like I said, just say it's High Level, match their pricing, and keep 100%, right? Because again, if you're offering this to businesses through your sub account, you're keeping 100%. Affiliate is different. Some of you guys might want to do some affiliate stuff, but where we're really going to be pushing you guys to go is the route that I went, the route that Dear Doc went, even Billie Jean, and even Ty Lopez is going the route I'm telling you guys to go, which is you guys can make 100% of the commissions by doing the sub accounts, right? And so here's something cool. So if we're going to be pushing this to, again, to free trials, right? This is something that's like so unique in the industry, where you can have a software that's so good, that's got so many big names behind it, that everybody is switching to because of how good it is, and because, whether they know it or not, they were the very first software to really pioneer going into this phase 3 for the make money online community, or the internet marketing community, by having everything under one login and one password. Because a lot of us don't even know why we're not, like, we're like, wait, why are we not using all these softwares? Well, yeah, it's kind of the money, but really it's the fact that I don't want to manage like 10 different softwares or 15 different softwares in this case, right? And so because it's so good, we're able to lean into that free trial. So we're going to show you guys some amazing marketing methods that we've used, where you guys can bring on, you know, tons of clients using this free trial model, right? But we're going to dive into TikTok, and we're going to dive into Facebook, and I want to show you how this all works. Now, in the training with Luke, if you guys get into this for the next month, and again, we're not selling anything here, right? So it's just a 30-day free trial, and you guys get to attend live calls for 30 days and literally get some of the best game and the best training that you've probably ever gotten, because it's going to be literally a walkthrough of how these companies have scaled up using high level. But let me just give you guys a little bit of a overview before we dive into the Facebook and the TikTok side. So like I said, if you do this right, you're going to have about an 80% retention on companies that you bring on to the free trial, right? So what that means is, we'll just use modest goals here. We're not going to use like Dear Docs goals. I mean, obviously, I'm sure there's somebody on this call who can trump that, but let's just say your goal is to get to 100. So let's say you sign up 125 businesses on free trials, right? You're not selling. You're literally like, you're basically Santa Claus. You're like, here's a bag full of presents. Here's 15 apps for free, right? You get an 80% retention on that, and now you've got 100 people paying you $297 a month, which we did the math, right? And that's about $30,000 a month residually, right? But this, again, this covers that part of the equation, which is the nurturing, right? Now they still need leads. So the best part about this is, now that you have them in and they're indoctrinated and they're using the software, we're going to show them how to plug in leads. Now, I used to be anti-free trial, right? I've been in the internet marketing game for 15 years. I've, you know, broken every record I wanted to break. Like, I consider myself, you know, more or less an expert, right? Pat myself on the back. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, I was a little bit, let's say, in my ego, thinking that I am anti-free trial. I've been doing this for way too long. I'm not giving out free trials, right? I learned that that was a completely dumb way of thinking about things. Not only is free trials not weak, but it is how businesses are being powered to be multi-million dollar businesses. I just am reading Alex Hormozy's book right now, $100 Million Leads, his new book. And I wasn't surprised, because I've been pushing this free trial thing for a little bit, even before I read the book. And then when I started reading, he said, you know, with Gym Launch, a company that they scaled to $100 million, they lead by giving a free trial of Facebook ads for 30 days. So they're actually giving, not only, like, they're literally doing the ads for free for 30 days. Now the client is paying the spend, right? But they're essentially, again, leading with value. They're saying, hey, we'll do the ads for you for 30 days to prove ourselves. And then if you like it, you can continue. If not, you can quit risk-free, but they're teeing it up like that. So let me show you how this works. So high level, again, becomes that you know, all those apps in one, right? We've got, we'll draw the circle here, right? This is not a good circle. We're going to go back. All right, so we've got, you know, our 15 apps in one. And so this is our high level, right? And so this is what we're giving to clients. And like I said, with an 80% retention, we give away 125 of these on free trials. 100 of them will stick. and now we're at 30 grand a month, and they're using our 15 apps in one. This is covering the second side of that sales equation, right? Number two, which we said was nurturing, right? Or communication. But we still need to have part number one, which is leads. Now, the cool thing here is that there's really two major lead sources that we can plug in for businesses. Well, three if we include Google, but we're gonna talk about Facebook and Instagram, which are one together because it's all under Facebook. And we're gonna talk about TikTok because the lead ads on here directly pipe in. So the way that this works in the world of online advertising is generally for these type of ads to do management, we would charge, and we're going to give you guys like literally the game on exactly how to do this. Like I'm going to show you guys my Panda docs. I'm going to show you guys the contracts I send out. Like I'm literally going to peel back the curtain on every single thing so you guys can see how to actually be successful with this. But to give you an example, companies generally charge between $500 to $1,500 per platform, and sometimes per niche. So if they're doing multiple, like if you're in the world of, let's say, personal injury attorneys and you're doing like car accident cases and you're doing workers' comp as an example, or if you're in the world of like regenerative medicine and you're doing like back pain and you're doing neck pain and you're doing decompression or neuropathy or something like that, like those are separate niches, right? So generally people will charge $500 to $1,500 per platform and even per niche, right? Now, this is cool because we can put together a package for somebody, right? We can say, hey, look, we'll do your Facebook and your TikTok, manage them for you, right? Let's say we'll pick a middle number here and we'll do both of these for you for, let's just use a round number. Let's say we're really giving these guys a deal and we'll say we'll do it for $1,000 per month per niche, right? So again, if they were a personal injury attorney and they were doing car accident cases and they were doing workers' comp, we would charge them $2,000 a month. But that's going to cover them on both platforms, Facebook and TikTok, right? So now let's say that of these 100 people that you brought on, 50 of them, half, want to do ads with you for $1,000 a month, right? Again, this is something we're going to teach you how you can do a free trial of this and give it out. It's going to take you minutes. I'm going to walk you through how to do a Facebook lead ad, TikTok lead ad, and all that in the training. I'm going to do some of the ads with you here so you can see that. But I just want to kind of give you an idea of how this works, right? Because just like Alex Hormozi did with Gym Launch, we too here can lead with a free trial. And let's say we even only get half of these 100, right? We're working with small numbers here. 50 people at $1,000, we're giving them a heck of a deal here. Like for everybody that I have on my Facebook right now, for Facebook ads, I would say my average across the board is probably $2,000 a month, right? So I'm pretty much cutting this in half just to give us like very conservative numbers, right? So what does that do here? That adds another 50K to our monthly recurring revenue. And again, this is something that we can lead with a free trial of the ads because it's going to be return on time. I'm going to show you how you can set up these ads in literally minutes so that, again, even if you get 20% or 30% of the people that drop off and are like, okay, I don't want to do it anymore, all you really gave was just minutes of your time. But now you're adding this to the bottom line where now you're around, $79,700 per month, right? And again, this isn't talking Dear Doc numbers of 5,000 clients. This is literally talking 100 clients on the software, free trial, and 50 clients that you're doing ads for, leading with a free trial can get you up to an income that would put you in the top fraction of a 1% of, people in the US, doing this. So this is our strategy. So to kind of circle back here, I'm going to jump in and show you the ads, but the way we're going to lead with this, again, it's all free trial based because we have to remember these are monthly recurring revenue, right? So for those of you that are like me and are probably going to go kicking and screaming like, man, I ain't doing no free trial. I don't care what Mike says. that guy's crazy. I got to do free work. I've been doing this too long to be doing free work. Let me just kind of illustrate this for you. We're going to show you how you can get leads coming in, companies contacting you, interested, right? If you were to give things out as a paid, right, versus free trial, you are going to sign up probably 10x more doing it this way, right? But let's say not even 10x. Let's just say it's 4x more. Oops. On the free trial side. The thing we have to realize with recurring revenue is that this compounds, right? So if we, like, let's say on this paid side, if we're doing ads, right, and we're doing a paid and we sign up at $1,000 a month, but if we're doing free trials, it's 4,000, right? Well, that first month it's a 30-day free trial, so we don't make anything, right? So on month 1, the paid side's winning, right? It's $1,000 ahead, right? And then the next month we add another 1,000. So now it's at 2,000 for month 2, right? So month 1, paid was winning. And this is why everybody goes to paid, because they need the money right now, right? But it's hard. And now you got to sell. And that's like a whole thing, right? So let me show you why the free trial way I've seen it. And like, again, I went kicking and screaming on this, but again, I want you to learn from me as a mentor instead of your own mistakes. So again, month 1, paid was winning, right? Paid brought in 1,000, free trial brought in 4,000, but because it's a 30-day free trial, we made a goose egg, right? We made 0, right? Now month 2, we added 1,000 to that recurring revenue, so now we're at 2,000. But on this side, we signed up another 4,000, right? But we're not going to make any money on that because that's free trial. But that 4,000 from the last month now kicked in, so now we're at 4,000 month 2. So immediately going into month 2, free is winning by double, right? But it gets worse, right? Because now we go into month 3, this goes to 3,000, this goes to 8. We go into month 4, this goes to 4,000, this goes to 12, right? Let's go 2 months ahead. We go to month 6. This is now at 6,000. Now this one's at 20, right? So this is why we're going to show you guys how you can lead. And again, this is monthly recurring revenue. This is when you stop, as long as you're servicing these clients, this is recurring, right? Take this out over 12 months, right? This goes to 12. This goes to 40 a month recurring. So, and again, this is at 4x. I'm more convinced that you'll probably bring on 10 times more people if you're doing free trials than if you're doing paid. So what we're going to do with this whole training is we're going to show you guys how you can use this incredible software to lead with a 30-day free trial and blow the socks off of anybody that you get on it, and probably stun them a little bit because they're going to be like they're not used to that. Trust me, like companies get called all the time, but 99.9% of the time they're getting sold. So when you're calling those companies and you're like, yeah, I'm really just wanting to give you this free trial, and you're not even really calling them, we're going to show you how you can get them to call you. So we're going to be teaching you how to actually generate inbound interest. So when you have that inbound call, they're going to be expecting to be sold, and you're going to be like, no, actually, we're just giving out free trials. I'm like Santa Claus, here you go, right? But again, I just want to show you guys this so that you can see that not only are free trials not weak, but when you're dealing in the world of recurring revenue and the numbers that we're dealing with, it goes from being on the paid side a very nice, well-paying job to on the free trial side, it ends up becoming becomes your retirement, right? And so this is like eye-opening for me, and this took me years to move to this way, but hopefully I can convince you guys over the next 30 days on how to do this, right? So the moral of the story here is free trial, right? So we already know that we're going to be giving out free trials of the software, right? Which is covering our number 2, which is nurturing. And so that's going to be, again, our 15 apps in one. and it's going to be that $297 with a 30-day trial. Now, we've definitely built some trust. We've definitely built some reciprocity. We definitely, essentially have this company more or less eating out of our hand at this point, because they're like, oh my gosh, this guy just hooked me up with this awesome software. They gave me 30 days free. I'm saving $3-4 grand a month. I'm not having to log in anything. What else can these guys do for me? Well, we can plug in leads, right? Because that's the thing. These are the number 1 and number 2 drivers of sales. You need the leads and you need a nurturing system. Well, this app, Swiss Army Knife app, is the nurturing system. Now, what are our lead sources going to be? So the way I recommend you guys starting is going to be Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. Now, I built GrowDoc up to about 150,000 a month roughly within about 90 days. And all I did was Facebook and nurturing. And when I did this, I was selling. It was a mistake. If I would have taken the same approach that I'm telling you guys, it would have been a humongous multiple of that, right? So I did this selling, like literally doing what I'm telling you guys not to do. I was able to build to $150,000 a month in 90 days, right? If I would have been giving this stuff away like Santa Claus and just having the ability to have patience and wait 30 days, it would have been probably 10 times that. But with this lead source here, again, we're going to also be leading with free trials over here if we can, right? And so I'm going to be walking you through how to specifically do Facebook and Instagram lead ads and TikTok lead ads, because these are going to be the easiest to build. You can build them in minutes, and again, you can charge between $500 to a couple $1,000s a month management fee on top of the $297. And again, you can lead with a free trial because it only takes minutes to set up. On this call, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a little secret hack. TikTok has the ability to run follower ads, and a lot of people don't know this. So I built my Instagram up to a couple 100,000 followers, 250,000, something like that. I know Luke's built his up. Building up Instagram followers was incredibly hard. They never had follower ads, right? And so that's what people are used to, is that you can't really get followers from ads because you never could do that on Instagram. TikTok, however, does allow you to build followers with ads. We're going to show you on this call right now how we were able to build followers for 1 penny each. And these are real followers. Now, these are going to be international followers, but this is going to be to build that vanity or credibility number, right? The other thing we're going to show you, and I'll show you a little bit on this call, but we're going to get more in depth into it, into the the training that we do over the next 30 days, is how to get lead ads, or leads, I should say, for under $1. Now these, for those of you that are these are going to be like US based. So when I show you the one I did, I mean, we were at like 60 cents, 65 cents, 80 cents. And to give you an idea of the demographic, this is 30, 35-year-old plus. So over 35, which is a more expensive demographic, English speaking, US only, which is, we know, expensive, right? So this is where you guys can really also shine, right? Because now, like, I don't know if you guys know, but like, you haven't been able to get Facebook lead ads for a 35 plus English US only audience for under $1 ever, pretty much. I don't even know, like, if maybe in the inception of lead ads back in, I don't know when that was, 2014 maybe, you could possibly, but nowhere in the last, like, 6, 7, 8 years have you been able to even touch those numbers, right? So TikTok gives us this new opportunity where we can go after a high-end demographic, right? These aren't going after the teeny boppers. This is 35-year-old plus, English speaking, US only. I was able to get lead ads for under $1, 65 cents, 80 cents, and a lot of leads, right? So this is something that you're going to be able to do for your clients, right? And this is kind of where high level and ads go hand in hand because they plug in directly into high level, right? And so on the ad side, what we want to do is we want to do a couple things. One, if we want to impress somebody, we can easily build, because everybody is interested in TikTok, right? But the main thing they're going to be interested in the beginning, if you really want to do a little magic trick, is they want to get followers, right? Everybody wants that vanity and credibility number of how many followers they have, right? And so going international, you can quickly get them up to 10,000 real followers using ads, right? We're not using like some bot or anything. We're actually using TikTok's own ads on their own platform, which they're going to look highly upon. And we're able to do that for under a penny, right? So you can get somebody up to 10,000 followers and only cost them $100, cost you $100. Now, this is something you can arbitrage the heck out of and sell it for a lot more, because obviously 10,000 real followers seems like it would cost a heck of a lot more than $100, right? Same thing if you want to get somebody up to 100. I mean, I've gotten students in Chris Records class right now up to 100,000 followers, and that would cost you $1,000, right? So imagine doing this for a company. You know, even in the heyday when Luke and I were like, you know, we were like with these groups that were like giving out Teslas. I mean, we were going through like all kinds of different ways to build followers. I mean, you couldn't even at the very least, to get 100,000 followers, you were going to spend like 20 grand. Now you're going to spend 1,000.
Yeah, and like again, with like the way that TikTok's really just changed, like I love it when it's not just one company that's a monopoly, in the sense that like TikTok is going to make it that Facebook and Instagram ads have to become more competitive, because it's just a no-brainer for people to be advertising on TikTok now, and they kind of just get it over at TikTok. It's almost, it's obviously not a free trial of ads, but they're like, look, we're just going to give you so much better of a reach, engagement, everything for less money, because we want you to be with us, not with the big meta company right now. But again, in saying that, there is the place for Facebook and Instagram ads still. But in terms of getting followers, it's insane what you can do on TikTok. And I'm sure Michael showed some examples.
So now once we've gotten, like, let's say, you know, and these are tools in your handbag that we're going to give you, that you can give to clients, right? So you can say, hey, if you just pay $100 in ads, I will get your TikTok account up to over 10,000 followers, and they don't even have to make content. You're going to use OPC, other people's content. So imagine, again, these are more ways that you can just build credibility, and you can kind of solidify your place in their heart as being like this Santa Claus of marketing. Because, you know, if you're like, hey, like I want to run lead ads for you on Facebook and TikTok, but the first thing I want to do, I can see you don't have any followers on TikTok, so I'll actually build your following on TikTok for you for free. All you have to do is just pay the ads. It's going to cost about $100 worth of ads, but you're going to get 10,000 real followers on your page. Boom. That's one way that you can build massive credibility. And then if they want to keep going, well, of course, you're going to have a monthly retainer attached to that. Now, ultimately, what we want to do is just get them to a point where they feel comfortable, where they have enough of a credibility number, let's say there, that they feel comfortable in running ads. Most people want to get to about 10,000. That's kind of like the nice number where like companies are like, okay, yeah, I feel like that's good. Well, again, you're going to be able to do it for under $100, and they'll, like I said, you do it for free, they'll pay the fee. Now that you have them on, now you can run lead ads to the target audience of that business, and you can get them for under $1. And again, this is for, I'll show you on my back office, you know, US based. And again, if you're in Australia or anywhere else, I mean, these are like, again, the more expensive markets. I mean, US is like the most expensive market for ads or for leads. So imagine US based, 35 plus, which means we're weeding out all the younger crowd, which is the cheapest crowd, and English speaking, and we're still able to get it for 65 cents a lead at scale. Like, we're bringing on hundreds of leads at that rate, right? So this is what you'll be able to provide for your clients. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to lead with a free trial on the software, and then we're going to show you how to lead with a free trial of these type of ads. So really it's going to be 3 types of ads that we're going to be talking about over the next month. But to kind of just reiterate, you're going to have Facebook and Instagram lead ads. You're going to have TikTok lead ads. And you're going to have TikTok following ads, follower ads. That's it. If you have these 3 tools in your tool belt with high level, you will be able to scale unbelievably. Again, I only was doing just Facebook and Instagram with a paid version of, basically like leading with selling. So I'm selling, I'm not doing free trials. And I was able to scale up to, 6 figures a month within 90 days, right? So with you guys being able to give this out as free trials and now having TikTok in your belt, it's going to make it like so much more powerful, right? So without further ado, let me open up my TikTok account here and I can show you guys a little bit of what that looks like.
And when Mike does that, I just wanted to mention here again, like, think back to those numbers that Mike was showing, with the compounding effect of the free trial and the recurring. And this is something that if you put a lot of work, and not even a lot of work, just the videos we're sharing and implementing it and getting involved and doing it and saying, look, for the next, say, 3 months, 6 months, I'm going to go all in on just making this work and learning this and implementing and reaching out and following up with the leads that we're going to be getting from TikTok ads, Facebook ads, that you'll create a business so fast with recurring income that you don't even have to do the support for, that once you get your local clients indoctrinated, they're going to just keep using it because it doesn't make sense to go anywhere else, especially when they're not only saving money but having all these different systems talking to each other in the one setup, that it's just saying, yes, this is what I'm going to implement, I'm going to put all my energy into this, which again doesn't even need to be a lot of energy, because again the product just does what it says, and it's one of those rare opportunities that you can do something and offer someone something for free, that because most tools you can't offer for free. Most stuff on JVZoo, Warrior Plus, ClickBank, you couldn't offer them for free because they're just not going to get the results that these different that local businesses or companies in general are after, where this is something that does allow that to happen, and it's a very, very unique position you're in. Someone also said in the comments how they said, okay, this all makes so much sense, but how, like, people always are going to find ways to, I guess, think, how is this too good to be true? And this is one of those things that really is as good as it sounds, because someone said, oh, how does high level make money on this? Look, after 30 days, you'll be paying that $297 a month if you choose to continue. Hopefully you'll have a bunch of clients sign up by then, and that cost is going to be just nothing, at 60, 70 bucks a week, whatever it is, because you're making so much through the clients that you've got coming in and converting that way. Again, as Mike said earlier, I'm one of 5 people that can offer this in this 30-day system, 30-day trial system here, that it's not a public offer. This isn't something you can publicly just go out and grab in this setup. So it's high level, make money on that. On your master membership or your sub accounts, you make 100% of those sales, and high level can do the management and support of certain things there as well. It's just a really, really killer opportunity. So Mike, I'll let you take back over.
Yeah, and they're an ecosystem too, where they have other services if you want to do marketing through them or have them do your SEO or different stuff. They're a whole marketplace. I personally never used it for that. So for me, my bill is just the $297 a month. And then anything I make on top of that is mine to keep, right? So it's like if I'm running a agency that's doing, $150,000 a month, then I'm literally just paying high level the $297. The reason that again, you guys are privileged to I mean, you guys are getting privileged information. You know, a lot of times, you know, a lot of these guys, like even Deer Doc and my buddy Joe Brown, like he wouldn't tell you any secrets. Like he's about his business, and like when it comes to like the way he was able to scale up, like I was the guy that plugged him in and really helped get him to that level, and he won't even tell me like everything, right? So it's kind of like one of those things where, you know, if you can be in a situation where you have a great software like this, and then you can learn from someone who's actually been a practitioner and done it, you're just in a privileged situation, and not everybody's going to be like that. If every single person on here went and did, you know, these, you know, Deer Doc numbers, well then yeah, it would probably not be the best deal for high level, and they would, you know, essentially have to probably rework their system. But the fact is that, you know, a lot of people are going to trip over their shoelaces because they're not going to be in the position that you're in, where you have me and Luke walking you through this. Like I'm the actual super affiliate director for all of high level. So like I see things at a very high level for the entire company. Again, this is now over $500 million company. So there's a lot of things I can share with you that are going to really give you guys an edge on how to do this properly. Now, that being said, just because you're giving out free trials doesn't mean there's not any sort of work involved, but we are going to make it so that it's like the least amount of brain damage possible of anything you could do online. The best return on time of pretty much anything you could do online. Like it's going to be one of those things where it's like, if you want to have something where you can make a lot and not have to do very much, I mean, it's, you know, it's pretty much the, you know, the holy grail of opportunities right now. So, so anyway, but again, that being said, you will have to still plug in. It's not like, you know, you're just going to wave a magical wand and there's going to be money in your account, but it's damn near the closest thing to that if you just plug in and again, learn from kind of the lessons that we've learned the hard way. So this is pretty cool. So this is TikTok, the back end. We'll be teaching you this more over the coming month, but I want to kind of show you guys a little bit of this back here so you can see the numbers, and I'm even going to show you how we run a follower ad here.
When you do that, Mike, can everyone see the screen all right? Otherwise, we can turn our webcams off for the second, just so it expands a bit bigger for your screens if you like.
Yeah.
Is that better for you guys? That should be a little bit better.
Okay, so there's two types of ads that are running here. One is a follower ad, and one is a lead ad. Now, if we look at these follower ads here that are building followers, you can see here that we have these, look, 2 cents a follow, 5,500 follows. This one's me and my girlfriend jumping off a cliff here. 1 penny a follow, 18,000 follows, right? So that was able to basically generate 18,000 real followers for 180 bucks, right? Here, 2 cent follows, 2 cent, here, 1 penny follows. Look at this guy. So this is what we're gonna teach you, is how to really use other people's content. So this video here is just a, you know, cool little meme thing from YouTube, but I can show you guys exactly how we pull this over and post it. And look at this, 1 penny follows, 28,000 followers, right? So we were able to build that 28,000 real followers on a real TikTok account. These are real followers coming from a TikTok ad, and we were able to do that for 280 bucks, right? Nowhere on the planet can you get 28,000 real followers for 280 bucks. So that's one thing I'm going to walk you through on here, how we can do that with other people's content. And our goal with this is for any company, we can build credibility, right? So we can immediately get in and we can build them 10,000 followers real quick for 100 bucks, or we can build them even 1,000 followers if they don't have any for 10 bucks, right? Instantly build that credibility, because again, this is something that people aren't used to because it never existed on Facebook. It never existed on Instagram. I mean, I guess it exists on Facebook in the early days with like page likes, but that's like so long forgotten about. I mean, nobody even remembers what page likes were. So anyway, so this is something really cool that you can build massive credibility by doing these follower ads. Then once you have their vanity number high enough, or their credibility number high enough that they want to now get leads, look at what lead ads are going for on TikTok. Look at this. This ad right here, 84 cent leads, brought on 217 leads at 84 cents. And I'll show you the back end so you can see this, but these are US leads at 35-year-old plus. Look at this, 64 cents, 100 leads at 64 cents. So if we go into this, let's see, this is the second one here. So let's look at these ad groups. So 35 plus, gender all, 35 plus, English, US only, right? So this is where TikTok really shines, is you can go after a US market, 35 plus, run a lead ad and get leads from, 65 cents, 85 cents, $1. Whereas if you're on Facebook or Instagram, you're going to be paying, like $10 for that lead. And so we'll walk you through exactly how you guys can do that. So what I want to show you now is exactly how you can run a TikTok ad using other people's content to get followers. Because the first thing we're going to do for clients is and even for you guys, like I'm sure a lot of you guys out there are like, damn, I want to get 10,000 followers really quick on TikTok. I didn't even know I could do that. So a lot of people don't know that. Even like big, influential people I see that are like actually internet marketing influencers, I see them like on their TikToks with like less than 10,000 followers. And I'm like, you're an internet marketer. You're supposed to know this stuff. But anyway, now you guys are going to know. So if you guys want to do this for your own TikTok or for other people's, this is a super hack. And the reason it's great for agency is because you can, again, build this credibility number up for anybody you're working with. And then once they have, let's say 5 or 10,000 followers, then you can start running lead ads for them. And those lead ads, again, will pipe directly into high level. And that's where all the magic kind of happens, is when that lead ad comes in and the name, email, and phone number go into high level, and it goes into that unified messaging, and the company can talk to those leads. It's, that's where the magic happens. But this first little hack is something really cool that a lot of you guys will probably want to know. And so I will show you guys how to do it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use other people's content. And so we want to go to YouTube. And then once we're in YouTube, we want to go over here to Shorts. And we'll turn that down. And what we want to do here, and even if we search it from home, we can come here and we can do like motivational speech, right? Or motivation. And then once we're on here, we can come down here into Shorts, and we want to look for ones that have a lot of views, right? So we can see here 4 million, 1.4 million. Whoops. And so we can kind of scroll through these. And especially when we see the thing that's really going to get us the penny followers, like it's easy to get 2 penny, 3 penny, but if we really want to get the 1 penny followers, we're going to look for ones that are really a lot of views. That's kind of like the secret hack here. So if we were to let's even go like gym motivation. So this is the one right here that you can see I got penny followers on, right? So I don't know if you guys remember seeing that in my ads, but this is the exact video that I pulled. Now, again, the hack here is that if we find something that has that many views, this one has 78 million, that's pretty much a guaranteed winner, right? That's going to be like guaranteed penny followers. So the cool thing is we can put this on our account, we can build followers, we can leave it there if we want to leave that content there, but then we can also take that content off and then we still retain those followers. Now, it's not just these videos that will pop. So like you guys saw, there was a video of my girlfriend and I jumping off a cliff in Hawaii into the water, and that also got penny views too. So there's different things that you could even have in your personal, you know, photo album that would be able to do that. I mean, this is just a super simple photo or video of us just like literally just jumping in the water, and that was it. And it also got penny views, probably because it's Hawaii and it's beautiful, and you know, you see people jumping off a cliff. But again, if you don't have any content and you just want to do the easy way, this is the way to do it, right? Is you just pull it from something that you know is already viral. In this case, we have here it's 78 million views. And we're going to go ahead and open that up. Then what we're going to do is we're going to copy. Whoops. We're going to go ahead and copy the YouTube name here, the URL. And then we're going to open a software called 4K Video Downloader. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off so the music stops playing. So we're going to open 4K Video Downloader. And I'll show you what that looks like. Looks like this. And then you would literally just go and just paste the link that you just pulled right there. And once you paste that into 4K Video Downloader, it's going to go ahead and pull the video. So here it's giving us some options. We'll just always pull the highest quality one. We already have the file, so we can override it if we want there. And so that's that side of it there. So we would literally just pull that video over just like that. Then open my TikTok back up so you guys can see it.
I'll also make sure there's links for all of these different sites that they were using in the replay as well. So don't worry, just follow along now and don't stress too much about writing everything down in terms of URLs and whatnot. I'll make sure I get them all out to you.
Yeah. So let me give me 1 second here. I'll open up my TikTok here so you guys can follow along with the next step. So let me switch over. Give you some hold music. All right, so once you're in TikTok, let me share my screen. So once you're in TikTok, you would come in here to create a campaign. And we would just go right here into custom mode. And now again, if you guys have done Facebook ads before, this looks almost identical. Again, you got campaign, ad group, and ad. And so for the campaign, the only thing we're really going to be selecting here is the type of ad that we're going to run, right? So we're going to spend a lot of time on this one right here, which is lead generation, which is essentially an exact copy of Facebook and Instagram lead ads. But for this particular objective here, we want to gain followers, right? We want to, let's say a client doesn't have any followers and we really want to wow them maybe, and we want to drop 10 bucks and get them 1,000 followers real quick, right? So they're going to be like, oh my God, you just got me 1,000 real followers for 10 bucks. Wow. So what we would do here is we would come in here to community interactions, and you can see here it says get more followers or profile visits, and you would just click right there. And then nothing else you need to change there. You would just click continue. Then under the ad group here, this is going to be all about where the ad is going, right? So for this one, unlike the lead ads where we're going to target US 35 plus, you know, US only, English only, for this one, we're going to do broad because ultimately we want just the vanity number. We don't really care too much about where they are. And so for this one, to get the cheapest followers, we're going to go ahead and just highlight all of these. A little bit of a delay here. All right. So we just basically want to leave the targeting wide open, right? Languages, we can go ahead and do US just so or to do English, so we have people that can see the ad. You could also leave this open if you want. I just like to have, if they're going to be comments and stuff on there, I like to, have it not be completely not English. So I'll set it to English. Gender all, age all, spending power all, everything else just literally wide open. And then the minimum budget for a TikTok ad is 20 bucks. So that's a little bit of a difference between like, on Facebook, you can go down to like 10 or 5. But here you can see that on a TikTok ad, it has to be minimum 20, right? So we're going to do 20 bucks there. So now we know that based on what we've done with this exact same video before, that 20 bucks is going to generate 2,000 followers, real followers, right? So we would go ahead and set that to 20. Again, optimization goal, we would have it on follow, which again, this is so cool for people that have ever tried to get followers on Instagram because you literally cannot do this. This is a exclusive to TikTok, which means, literally, if you wanted to go get, not that you guys want to do this, but imagine you could go get 1 million followers and it would be like 10 grand. Like when you see somebody with 1 million followers, I'm sure no one here would think like, oh, that's just like 10 grand, right? It's like, no, like generally people see like 1 million followers and are like, wow, that's like a lot, a lot more than that and a lot of hard work, right? So for here, we're just buying our way. So we just go follow, and that's all that we're going to do in the ad group side. So again, ad group is all about where the ad's going. And so for this, it's just wide open targeting with the optimization goal of follow. And then we're going to go here and we're just going to put this on lowest cost. And just leave it just like that. And all right. And so for this one, I believe we have this post already on here. Let's take a look. Yeah, right here, right? So essentially, if we were, if we didn't have this post on here already, what we would do is we would actually upload the TikTok post on our phones first. So we would first put the TikTok, we would take that video that we just downloaded, and you can either do it from your desktop or you can do it from your phone. I'm just so used to doing like photos on my phone or videos on my phone that basically that video that we just ripped using 4K video downloader, we would basically just airdrop that or just email that video to our phone, and we would just post that as a regular post on our TikTok. Once it's posted, now we're going to come in here and we're going to see that TikTok post right here when we click post, right? So that's where, and again, these are all posts just like that, right? You got Kayla Kanai here, Joe Rogan, Steve Harvey. So these are obviously not, these are all content that we pulled the exact same way. And so with this one, if that's the post we just pulled there, we would just click there, click confirm. It's going to put the text in there automatic and leave all that just like that. And then for any of these short stuffs, like no one cares about as far as like if you're copying like a whole podcast of somebody, then as far as like copywriting stuff or anything like that, then maybe somebody's 1 out of 100 people are going to say something to you. But if you're doing anything with shorts, like any of these short clips like this is all stuff that's just super widely used around the internet. So you don't have to worry about any of that kind of stuff. Like people do this stuff all the time. And honestly, people that are like the Joe Rogans of the world or anything like that, they like it when people share shorts because it's just more exposure for them. So anyway, so you can just leave all that like that, and then you just literally would just click submit, and that's it. And that's the easiest way you could ever get a follower on any social media platform, is literally just like that. Again, and you can pull your favorite content if you want to get more motivational stuff, if you want to get more fitness stuff, you know, kind of it's up to you how you want to do it. And then if you want to leave the content on there, or if you want to, you know, just build the following for that person or for yourself and then take it off, you can do that as well. But basically just doing this is how we were able to build followings. And not only for us, we've done this for, sheesh, at this point, probably like 100 different people that we've had get their TikToks over, you know, over 10,000 followers using this method. So it's super proven, and hope you guys enjoyed that little walkthrough.
Yeah, that's just insane. And one thing I wanted to mention real quick on that one as well is someone said, okay, well, what's the point of the vanity metric, as they're unlikely to be able to be your target market. So again, this is looking at this is for working with clients. So you're doing it for a local client. So, and you try to find a viral piece of content that's related to that client's niche. It's an extra value add you can add to them as a service to show you can get them insane results fast while they're also getting indoctrinated with high level. It also, for local businesses, if they have, like, it's just like any business really, if they have good online review scores, if they've got some form of following, people are like sheep and people will follow what other people are doing. And by building up an actual following for that client, and you can do it so quickly with next to no time invested, one, it looks great for you as the agency working with them, but also it's great for them, because then when they run ads to their actual market, but whatever it is they're selling, they've actually got a TikTok account or social media presence that actually is populated versus one that has zero followers, zero fans. And again, this can also be applied over to e-com, to affiliate marketing to other niches when you're using this TikTok training as well. And again, this is just one of the ad forms we're going to be going into, as Mike's mentioned, where we'll then be showing you how to actually use lead ads, use different types of ads as well that can bring, not just for clients, but for you to bring clients in to you, that you can then set off the high level free trial system that we're teaching here.
Yeah, and so you know, there's two sides. So on this, you know, this training, I want to kind of give you guys that little nugget because it's super powerful. Like, now that you know it, like, browse on TikTok, and you'll see big companies that are posting like crazy, that are big companies that have millions of dollars, and they might have 1,000 followers. And now that you know that, you're like, wow, I can go get 10,000 followers for $100, and this company's literally posting every day on their TikTok with only 1,000 followers, and they're $1 million company. Like, that is just like ripe breeding ground for opportunity for you to be able to be like, hey, let me, and again, show them the magic trick. Like, come in and be like, hey, I'll do it for you for free. You can charge them for the ads, or if it's cheap enough and you want to cover the $10 to give them 1,000, you know, 1,000 followers, then you can do that as well. But these are ways that you can literally just have companies like, here, do everything for me. If you can do that, you are like a magician, and then like they'll trust you with everything. There's a studio that I work with, a music studio. They're the nicest music studio in all of Los Angeles. They take up like 3 city blocks. Every top recording artist that you've ever heard of, from Post Malone to Chainsmokers, like everybody records out of this place. Their TikTok is terrible right now. It's got like a couple thousand followers, if that. And so it's like, to you, knowing what you know now, this multi-million dollar studio has basically $20 worth of followers. So that, again, is just opportunity. But the real magic is, again, getting them onto lead ads. So then once they have that, because it's a vanity metric, it's a credibility metric. That's why we run it worldwide, because at the end of the day, it's a number that's subconscious, that when people land on a page, it's just the way we are as, you know, stupid humans, that we see that number and we're like, okay, they're legit because they got like 10,000 followers. So that's just how we move. That's like our subconscious brain, right? But where the real money is for you and for them as a client is to put them onto lead ads. And that's what we're really going to dive deep into the next 30 days, is once they have enough vanity number where they're like, okay, we look legit, and we're not like running ads to an account that has like 3 followers on it, and we look like a bunch of ding dongs. But now we've got a nice little chunky number there, and now let's actually run lead ads to our demographic. That's where you're really going to be blown away, because that's like what I was showing you guys on the TikTok page I showed you. You're able on TikTok, again, to target a high, like a high cost lead, like a 35-year-old plus US English speaking on Facebook all day long is going to charge you 10, 15, 20 bucks for that lead. On TikTok, we're getting that exact same person for 65 cents. And so this is again where you're going to be able to like get in and really just like be looked at as a hero to these businesses, because you got to understand, if I'm that demographic, right? I'm 35 plus US English speaking, right? I have TikTok and I have Facebook, Instagram, right? Now, my name, my phone number, and my email don't change. Those are the same. That's what you're getting from a lead ad. So when you get Mike Crouch from a lead ad, you're getting my name, my email, and my phone number, right? Now, if you find me on a lead ad on Facebook or Instagram and you get me to opt in, you're going to be paying $15 for that name, email, phone number, right? But on this ad I just showed you that was 35 plus US English speaking, you're going to get me, my same name, my same email, and my exact same phone number. But instead of paying 15 bucks, you're going to be paying 65 cents or 80 cents. So again, it's the same info, and that's what people don't quite grasp. They're like, oh, TikTok, that's like a younger demographic thing, right? That's like the kids. And it's like, yeah, it is the kids, but it's also driving tons of other people over there, because you got parents, you got grandparents, you got aunts, you got uncles, you got everybody influenced by the kids. And so again, my name, phone number, and email don't change, but if you get them from TikTok versus Instagram, Facebook, you're going to be paying, pennies on the dollar. And so that's where the opportunity is for you guys, is to do both. You guys are going to be able with High Level to plug in Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok direct. So when that name, email, phone number comes over into the control center of High Level, then you're going to have all the magical tools right there to basically, take that info and, be able to use it in your own business if you want, or definitely scale up any business that you work with as an agency.
Yeah, exactly. And what I'm thinking I'm going to do is over the next probably next 24, 48 hours, I'm actually going to do a video on the more, I guess, not boring. I don't know if I call it boring, because I find all of this exciting, but actually going into High Level, and I might even, after Mike's done now, I know it's been quite a long webinar, but I might even just show you just a few examples of actually inside of High Level itself, of like how you can create little pages and opt-ins, and just a basic overview. If you guys would like that now, but I'll do a proper video of setting that up. So then it comes next week's training on with Mike on Wednesday. That will we will go into the lead ads, and actually then you'll be at a place where you've got your High Level set up, so we can just really make it a really nice transition between the two there as well. And not only that, by then you'll be able to have fully understand how to use the page builder and whatnot, and I'll probably show you that in a couple of minutes as well on that as well. It's so simple. I've used a lot of different page builders and funnel makers, and a lot of them I've just found way too hard, but this is a really neat way to do that. So was that kind of your idea as well, Mike? Next week we'll go into the lead ads and some other stuff on
yeah,
that
yeah. I mean, I could poke around in here for and show you guys a little bit of the automation stuff just so you can see. But yeah, during the actual training, I want to kind of dive into the meat and potatoes of lead ads and everything. But let me let's see. Let me bring up
that up, guys. Let me know as well if you want me to do another, instead of, I know every Wednesday we'll do this core training with Mike, but if you guys want me to do an extra webinar in the week, whether you attend it or not, I can send the replay out, even if you're available. If anyone here's available that wants to turn up, you can turn up to it as well. But I might do one maybe Wednesday, or maybe on Monday, so we can do Monday and Wednesday, so you can get double the amount of information each week and really get implementing into it. But in saying that, you'll see by next week, it's a pretty simple, well, it's simple in the sense because everything works well together system, that it's not one of those things where you're gonna have to spend so many hours and so many different webinars to learn so much stuff before you'll be able to do it. You'll be pretty set up by watching this training today, next week's training, and it should be a pretty clear system to get it all set up. And I can see a bunch of questions coming in. I'll answer them after Mike's left as well.
So what I can do, I'll turn it over to you if you, but I just want to do I'll do a little 10-minute training just so you guys can, again, we're going to be diving into this way deeper, but just so you guys can kind of get an idea kind of the
Take as long as
magic
you
that
like.
happens.
There's no rush.
What's that?
Take as long as you like. There's absolutely no rush. Like
Okay, cool.
I just wanted I didn't know. I know you were in Vegas, so I didn't want to take up too much of your time. But please be take as long as you like.
Cool. So essentially, when you build a lead ad, you're going to have this integrations part here in high level, and this is kind of like where the magic happens. So essentially, let's say you built your client up to 10,000 followers, or maybe they already had followers, so you just went direct into lead ads. You could connect them directly here with Facebook and Instagram. You can connect their account, and you can also connect their TikTok. Literally, just a click of a button, just boom, boom, they're connected. Then you're going to essentially have your TikTok form. So if you guys have ever done a lead ad, there's like the lead ads form or the Facebook form. So those are going to be right here. And you'll see that these are the forms. So these are different like ads we ran for penny followers, TikTok training, etc. And so if we go to edit the fields, you'll see that all this is just that the name equals full name, the email equals email, and the phone number equals phone number. So all you're literally doing is just confirming that a name is a name, an email is an email, and a phone number is a phone number, and you click update, right? And so that is what essentially connects that form. So when that TikTok ad is running and it's getting name, email, and phone number for, in the case of the ads I showed you, like 65 to 85 cents, when those leads start coming in, they're going to come in now to high level, right? So now when they come in, what do you want to do with them? So now what happens is you have this ability to build automations. And so this is basically a working version of Zapier inside of high level. So like you have Zapier, if you guys are familiar with Zapier is like one of my favorite softwares in the world, but Zapier is built into high level. You don't even really need Zapier anymore. So this, like we could do all these different ones here. It's really cool. They've got like all these ones you can try out here as far as like list reactivation or Google My Business message, send a review request. Like they've got all these like sample ones built out, but we'll just do a start from scratch just so you can kind of see how that works, right? So start from scratch. And so if you've ever used Zapier before, this should look familiar to you. This is basically, Zapier is a trigger that triggers multiple actions, right? And that's the premise of Zapier, or the premise of this is basically, we would call this like a push button API, right? API is like the phase 1 days of when you had to build from Legos and you wanted softwares to talk to each other. You had to hire a programmer that was familiar with API, or application protocol interface, so they could study how these softwares would talk to each other, and they would have to code it from scratch, right? Again, this is in the prehistoric internet days of like 10 years ago. This is how you had to do it. Now, fast forward to the future, the George Jetson days of where we're at right now, and we get to sit in our living rooms and in our workout attire and do this just from our laptop. And so the way that this works is generally there's one trigger that triggers multiple actions, right? Now, 90% of the time, your trigger is either going to be a TikTok lead ad coming in, or it's going to be a Facebook lead ad coming in, right? And so these are all the different possible triggers, right? But we have TikTok form submitted, Facebook lead form submitted. These are going to be really our two go-to triggers, right? When a Facebook ad comes in and a lead comes in from a Facebook ad, or when a lead comes in from a TikTok, right? Those are going to be 90% of the time, 80% of the time, we're going to be using one of these. So let's do TikTok, since that's what we're talking about. And it's going to say TikTok form submitted. We're going to click add filter. And it's going to bring up those different forms that we had, right? So we're going to go in form, and we're going to select whichever form we wanted to come from. So let's say that was coming from this one penny follows form. And again, that's just the ad that's running. It's an ad for getting penny followers. And
maybe just shut your webcam off as well for a second. I saw a few people say, can we expand the screen? So if the webcam's off, it'll to go to webinar. I think it's so weird.
There we go. So should be able to see it a little bit better there. But again, this up here is the trigger. And so again, we would just click here. I'll just go through it one more time so you guys can see it here. But again, right here on the trigger, we would add a trigger. We would go here. Again, 90% of the time, you're going to be using either a Facebook lead coming in or a TikTok lead coming in. So it's either going to be Facebook lead form submitted or TikTok form submitted. And so this time we're going to click TikTok and we're going to choose the actual lead form. So that's going to be the actual ad that's running. We're going to do this 1 penny followers one. And then we're going to be able to build actions off of that. And so this is where it gets really cool. So you can basically say, okay, when the lead comes in, the first thing I want to do is, let's say, add a tag. So we're going to tag it so that we know that it came from TikTok penny ad. So we add a tag. So that's the first thing that we have done. Whoops. Create new tag. Now we have the tag on there and we click save. So now it's basically saying when that TikTok lead comes in, the first thing we want to do is add a tag. Then the next thing we might want to do is let's add it to our pipeline. And so let's see. Got to get my glasses out here. All right, so we're going to go right here, create or update opportunity. And then now we're going to have a pipeline for that, right? So if this is like the TikTok pipeline, this is going to put it into that CRM so that we can organize it. And now it's going to come in as a new lead. And I'll show you guys where that is. But again, that's all we do. We want to set a lead value. If we say, hey, our average lead value is, you know, 20 bucks, that's what we think it's worth. Status, open. Allow opportunity to move to a previous stage in the pipeline. This is something I click on just so I can move them back and forth if I want. But again, this is just going to add them to that pipeline, that CRM, that visual CRM that you saw where you can drag and drop the cards. This is going to add them to that. So now we're going to add them to the pipeline. Boop. Easy. Next thing we want to do, so now we got them tagged and we got them in our CRM. Well, now we want to communicate with them. So maybe we want to send them a text. And so now we can say hi and put their name in because they gave us their name, right? So we can say hi, first name. Thanks you for your interest in our program, ... right? So we can type in whatever we want there. Mike can work on this spelling in the meantime. And so that's just kind of like a test text there, you can see. So we can type out whatever we want there and boom, that becomes a text. Now maybe we want to send them an email, right? So that's all built in as well. So now we could send them an email. And again, we could put our from name in here. All right, that's our from email. And again, just do a little test. You know, hi. Right, there we go. We can even test these emails too. So the text and emails, we can put in our own email right here and we can send a test just to make sure everything's coming across the way we want it to. If it looks good, again, we save it, boom. And so there's all kinds of things that we can add. I mean, you can see here everything from a Slack message to a call. We can actually have it trigger a call. We can send a ringless voicemail. There's ways that we can get them to opt in. I'm going to show you guys in the training where we can do Facebook and Instagram DMs as well. So we get them to opt in on that where we can actually build that in. So we want to send them an Instagram DM, right? We can build that in. Ringless voicemails. This is where you can upload a file and you can literally drop a voicemail on somebody's phone. It'll show up as a missed call to them, but it's going to just drop a voicemail, right? So that's something else we can do. And then basically we can space these out. So if we want to have like a text, email, Instagram go out, and then we're like, okay, we can do cool stuff. Like we can make it so what I do with most things is I stop them on response, right? So we could have this string go out for a week, right? We can have texts and emails go out for a week, but if they respond to us, then we want to take it manual, right? So then we want to talk to them manually. So what we would do in that case is we would come in here and we would click settings. And then we would make sure we clicked on this little toggle here that goes stop on response. And what that means is that once we have that on, and we'll save it, then we can go back to the builder, and now we can build this thing super long because we don't care, because if they respond to something, then it's going to turn this thing off anyway, right? So now we can just really super keep in touch with these people, right? Knowing that if they respond, then it's not going to just keep hitting them with messages. But if they don't respond, it is going to keep hitting them with messages, right? So with this one, we could set a delay. We could say 1 day, save. So now it's going to have a wait. And then now we can do another text, right? Test 2. And then once we do that, then we can come in here and we can do email, and we can click send email, and we can do another test. So we can come in here and we can go, this will be from Mike Brown, Mike at apexagency.com, test, and go ahead and click, oops, we'll go test here. Go ahead and click save. And so you can see that we can keep building that out over and over, right? So we can come back in here, we can put another wait. Maybe this one we'll do, you know, maybe we don't want it to come in at the exact same time, so we could do like 23 hours later, or we could do 25 hours later. So it's like a little bit different when they get the next one. And then again, we can build that out, right? But you can see here that we have so many tools at our fingertips, everything from, and the cool thing here for businesses that I always do, which is like super, super cool, is we send an internal notification, right? So check this out. So when the lead comes in up here, so like let's say after we tag it and after we put it in the pipeline, like right here, we're gonna put a an internal notification. And that's going to send a message to us. So if we want to come in here and do like text, and then we could essentially, the person that the business it is going to have a, they're going to be a user, right? So we could come in here and essentially go particular user, and then we could select them as a user, and they're going to have their phone number in there. And then it's going to say something like, like let's say this is going to me, right? It's going to be like, hi, or like, let's say I'm a doctor. We'll be like, hey, Dr. Mike, you just got a new lead from TikTok. Then what you could do is you can put their information in, right? So now you can essentially take the contact information from the lead, which is going to be their full name, their email, and their phone number, right? So, and again, you could even put your agency, like my company is called Apex Agency, right? So you could just say, you just got a new TikTok lead from like my company, Apex Agency. So this is a super cool way. Now sometimes clients get annoyed by this, like after it goes on for a long time, but in the beginning, they love it because it's like, now they're getting a text message every time the lead comes in. So they're going to have the app, like on the phone, there's a high level app, right, where they're going to see all of their leads coming in and all that kind of stuff. But this is really cool for like building credibility. Like let's say you're doing that 30-day free trial for them on ads, and now all of a sudden their phone's going off all the time. And imagine most companies like aren't used to getting leads like this. So if all the time they're getting a text that says, hey, Dr. Mike, you just got a new TikTok lead from your guys' agency. And then it has the name, email, and phone number listed there. So you can build this in as well. save the action. I don't have the user built in here, so it's not going to let me do it. But that's something that I always like to build into these sequences as well, which basically it's called an internal notification. So it's basically letting the client know, or letting you know if you're using it for yourself. It's sending you a text that you got a new lead. And then you can also do it for email as well, right? So if you guys saw that, you can go internal notification, and you can also do a email as well, which is cool. So yeah, so anyway, so you can basically, this is as simple as it is. I mean, this is like literally the crux of it. The coolest part about this is you set it and forget it. So when you build this for a client, you got to understand, like, the fact that this is taking you seconds to do is because of this software. Like 10 years ago, this same process would have taken like unbelievable amounts of time to make this actually possible, right? And a lot of these guys are still in that world, right? A lot of these businesses are like, they don't know how far things have come, right? So the amount of value that you're delivering by being able to set up a lead ad for them, as fast as we set up that follower ad, is as fast as you can set up a lead ad, right? So how long did it take me to set up that follower ad and pull that content and do that ad? Like less than 5 minutes, right? So it's like you can set up an ad for them in like less than 5 minutes, and have it piped into high level like this directly, where now the lead's coming in, it's getting a tag on it, it's being put into a CRM. It has a whole sequence that you can literally run for 7 days, 14 days, however long you want. Build this out. Again, these are kind of some of all your, or like most of your choices here for communication: email, text, Slack, phone call, ringless voicemail, Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger, manual SMS, manual call, Google My Business messaging. So you have all these things here built in, and literally you can just set it up in minutes. Like the amount of value that you're delivering is just massive, right? But it's like the software is making it so it's just, it's so easy. The cool thing here is that once you build this out for a few companies, and this is where the snapshots are just so cool, is let's say you build this out for, let's say, a roofer, or in my case, an attorney, right? And we save this and we have this built out, right? What we can do is we can literally make a copy of this for another client. And I'll show, I won't go into that all right now, but it's so simple. It literally would take me like 30 seconds. But essentially, once you have this built out, actually, I guess since it is so easy, I'll just do it. So let's say you built out a lot of this stuff that you want, or even a funnel or whatever, and now you want to make a copy, because now you're bringing on a second client, but you don't want to do this stuff from scratch anymore because you just spent the time building it out. Well, all you have to do literally is come down here into, we would go back to our agency view here, and then we would go to settings, and we would come right here into snapshots, and then we would come right here and we would create a new snapshot, and we would title this like, whatever this was. Let's say we were doing, this is like TikTok for doctors. But whatever you want to copy out of that other account, you can do it, right? So this one was in like this TikTok followers one, right? So essentially, I can come in here, I can click that, and now I have that snapshot saved of what I just built, right? So now when I bring on a new client, like let's say I go back and we'll go to, I'll just say like Apex Agency right here, right? If I go to manage client, I can come right up here into actions, and I can load the snapshot. So now what I just built, and you can see some of these that we have in here, like this is like for like my niches: back pain, brain health. This is red light therapy.
Oh wait, no, there you go. It's loaded now. It just froze for a second.
Okay,
for me.
yeah. Cryotherapy, erectile dysfunction, hair restoration, IV therapy, knee pain, neuropathy, shoulder pain, spine. So you build these once for clients, and then it's literally a copy button, right? So everything that you build now becomes copyable. which like once you really understand the power of this, it's just insane. Like this is the one we just did, right? So if I wanted to take what I just built in front of you guys and I want to now copy that to a new client, this is all I have to do. I just take this.
I think it's just frozen again, Mike, but that's all right. I can't hear you at the minute, but I think it's probably just loading the.
Proceed single.
Hold on, I think Mike's account's just loading. Can you hear me,
Here.
Mike?
Then,
That's all right, Mike. I think your account's just frozen for a second.
um,
Hold on, give me a sec.
is it
Your account's just frozen. Wait, there you go. I can see your camera now. It's just stuck on the snapshot page for me. Is it stuck on everyone's snapshot page?
how is it?
It's cutting out a bit. Maybe turn your oh, I can see your webcam. It's just on a bit poorer quality at the minute, but it's stuck on the choose a snapshot section there. But if that's if it's frozen, that oh wait, now the drop down's going.
So,
Let me just see. Sometimes GoToWebinar has a bit of a mind of its own for a second. Let me see. Let me just take the screen for a second and see if that helps freeze. If that helps unfreeze it for you. Let me just make myself the presenter. Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now, Mike? Could be also the Vegas internet. Vegas internet sometimes has a mind of its own.
Can you see?
Yeah. I can. You cut in, cut out. If you want to just jump, you can even jump. You can even jump out and jump back in because the audio is not working the best. And if that doesn't work, looks like you've done a good teaser for next week. But let me just let's just give it a couple more. I'll give Mike a minute just to jump in and jump out, and see if that works for him. But essentially, you guys can see now really the power of that. I see a few questions saying, okay, do we need to pay for Zapier or anything? And no, you don't. That's the beauty of this, is it's all in. Let me actually share while Mike's doing that. Let me see if I can share this for you guys. So essentially, guys, there's no Zapier needed because all of these tools, all of those tools that Mike was just running over SMS, email, in that triggering sense that, like prior to this, you'd have to literally create a lead ad and then have an autoresponder where you then have a list where you then have to then create a campaign and then follow up emails one by one and then have that be your email sequence. But say you wanted a text message to go out in between those emails, you need a different tool like Twilio or another text messaging software that you then have to go out and connect Zapier to the same lead ad. Then you have to do it for follow-up calls. Then you'd have to do it for voice messages to be left. You'd have to do it over and over and over again, and it would just be a very time-consuming thing. I see Mike's probably jumped back in now, but
yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. I can show that last part. I was gonna kind of end on that. Just
okay, cool.
We're going on 3 hours now, but I can kind of show you guys that last part if you want to see.
Yeah, may as well just finish it up on that one. I'll make you the presenter again. See if that helps you out there. I'll turn my webcam off because again, I know maybe it's my face that's screwing up the internet. Just I'll turn that off for a second. Actually, I'll leave it on till your page is up.
All right, so you should be able to see it there, yeah?
Yeah.
So yeah, so basically, where we left off, we made a copy of that account. So now we just went into a new account. So let's say this is like doctor number 2 or doctor number 10 or, whatever. and you don't want to rebuild all that work that you did for the original doctor, because you probably put a lot of time into, building their texts and emails and getting it right. Well, not a lot of time. Obviously, you saw we built like a 4 email text sequence there in minutes, but enough time where you wouldn't want to just go back and do it all over again. Well, it makes it really easy. All you have to do right here is you just log into that new account that you created. You click actions, you click load snapshot, and then now you're going to be able to select from where you want. So I've done this in the regenerative medicine world. Obviously, you can see I've got everything from back pain to brain health, red light therapy, cryotherapy, ED, hair restoration, IV, knee pain. So all of these that I built them once, but now if I want to give that to a doctor, boom, I just press a button, right? So they're getting thousands of dollars worth of value, and all I'm literally doing is like pressing the copy button on the copy machine, right? But the one that we just built is right here. We just built this, right? TikTok for doctors. We just did that right on the call. So now if I want to copy this, I would just select that, and it's going to bring up everything in that account, right? So I can copy everything if I want to, or I can go skip, and then I can just select the things that I want, right? So if I want to copy certain funnels, I can do that. If I want to, copy any workflows, I can do that. So we can literally just decide what we want to copy over to that new client, and then we just click proceed, and it literally makes a carbon copy. So this is really what gives you like massive return on time, because the way we used to talk about it in our own business, that we would say, look, we make one master template for the doctor, or we make one master template for the lawyer, or we make one master template for the roofer. We spend a little bit of time on it, takes a little bit of time, but after we have it done, then if we bring on 10 roofers or 100 roofers or 1,000 roofers or 1,000 of whatever that niche is, we literally are just sitting there pressing the copy button. The second, like the second roofer, the 10th roofer, the 1,000th roofer, they're still getting thousands of dollars worth of value. They're still getting the same value that first roofer got that we had to put the time into, but the other ones are literally just getting that perfect carbon copy that we're just pressing the copy button. So this is an amazing feature that we'll definitely be spending some time on, but I'll end it on that. I mean, obviously we've got a lot to cover. That's why we're doing this over the next month, but I'm literally not going to be holding anything back and giving you guys like the game on exactly what you guys will need to be successful doing this. So that's it. Appreciate you guys for having me. I think my audio might be a little dodgy.
No, that's my audio. That's my audio.
Okay.
No, Mike, thank you so much, mate. I know dedicating hours each week, especially being in Vegas and doing all the things you're doing. I know my audience really, really appreciates it. So I'm sure that they'll all be saying thank you in the comments, because that's just the type of people they are. So thank you, Mike. I really appreciate that. Again,
yeah,
so
next
next
week,
week,
appreciate being out here. It was cool to kick it with you guys for a few hours.
Yeah. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Well, I'll let you jump off now, so you can go back and get into your rap videos, and say hi to Chris for me.
All right, we'll do.
I'll
Appreciate
call
you
you guys in the next few days.
Hopefully,
Cool.
I see everybody on the calls coming up.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm no doubt that you will. Let me just make myself the presenter here, and okay. Again, I've got my 2 computer screens. So if I'm looking this way, it's not that I'm being rude, not looking at the camera over here. I've just got 2 computers happening at the same time right now. So guys, it's hopefully after today's training, I know again it's been a couple of hours, 3 hours on the training, and that can get a bit exhausting for some, but hopefully by the end of that, Mike really cleared things up on the process of this, where we're going with this, showed you some things that you wouldn't have known prior. I know at the start we did kind of cover some of the same things in a faster version as last week. We did have some new members or a bunch of new people on today's training, I should say. So we always try to cater to everyone. But moving forward, we'll understand that you understand what high level is, the process of this, the insane deal that Mike's organized for you guys with me on the trial of this. And then what I will do, a bunch of people said, yes, you guys would like a second webinar training each week. And again, I'll send maybe one email out about it. I might even make a different link, and it'll just be webinars with me, and I'll be actually just going through high level itself in different sections and different areas, and how to set things up the first time if you haven't done that before, and just more so of a support and value training. What I'll even do, let me see if I can show you this. The replay pages, I was using high level to create those, and they took me maybe 3 minutes to create the replay pages. I go here, sites, and because I'm sure a lot of you watched the replay last week on this. Oh, that was the first opt-in I did for you guys. Let me see if I can find. Here we go. So this was the first replay page. Again, super simple to do. And then, like, again, what I might even do on Monday is do the actual go over creating funnels and whatnot, and on that actual training. But I guess there's two sides to this. Is that one, I want to show you all of the features that high level does, and how to use it, and how to use it for yourself. And but at the same time, I'm also catering to try to share with you as the fastest way to take this, get those licenses out, get those recurring license subscriptions coming in. And that's what we're going to do on each Wednesday's training. That's going to be the main focus. But on the other trainings, I'm going to try to share with you guys how to go in and use high level more for yourself, and just to get an understanding of how to use the software as a whole. Again, once you've done it once, it makes so much sense. And again, even with the page builder here, it's so easy. You can see the color code thing. So I'm hovering over the wide section and it's green. So say I want to add a new section, I can just go add new section, full width and whatnot. But say I just want to add in a new, say, 2 columns here. I can add in 2 columns, and that's in the blue section. Then I can add elements inside of that. I want to add videos, images, text, countdown timers, progress bars, like so many different things. Really easy to do. You can add in rows. It's really simple just to go in, and then you can just delete them. If you don't need things, you can see I put in a button here. The button link, I just put the text over here. It's really simple drag and drop style builder where you can create pages really quickly. And again, there's hundreds or even thousands of templates in there that you can use, that are already pre-set up, and you can just take ClickFunnels funnel pages instantly across over into high level as well. So what I'll probably do is probably Monday or Tuesday is when I'll do the solo webinar, if you guys would like that. And my bonuses, I'll send you guys a link now to this bonus page. Hold on, if you guys haven't got them, I might as well send them again now. I'll send this in the chat now. I get that I sent these out in the past few emails, but you guys can have them again there. What else have we got saying in the chat box, actually? Someone said, Kerry said, I'm worried about my first setup to be done properly. It stopped me. So that's the beautiful thing with this, is because there's no coding, there's no connecting to like third-party services. You can set things up and you can change anything. They have a basic setup wizard when you first go in. They have their onboarding call as well, which I recommend doing. High level will do it with you guys. And you can answer ask any questions there. They're really good at helping in that. The link that I just dropped in the chat box is a fast start guide. Someone said there's a missing video, so I'm following up on that. During Europe friendly time next week. Okay, cool. Is Mark going to still share some of his snapshots, not just his high level verticals? Yeah, so what someone said here as well, can we get Mike's snapshots included? So yeah, I'm going to be speaking to him about his one specifically, but in the coming weeks, I've got some surprises for you all regarding snapshots. But you know, I can't just give everything away on now, because I need to email you guys with new exciting things each week that I'm doing. And So you'll see there's a lot of cool things I've got coming for you. Again, pure value. Again, nothing to buy or sell, just to be a part of it. Concept WhatsApp group. So would you guys like a WhatsApp group? If you want a WhatsApp group, I'll create one. Darren said, "Stop it, mate. You're spoiling us." That's funny. Cool. All right. Well, again, it's been 3 hours. Oh, it's probably been more than 3 hours now. How long has it been? You guys are amazing for being on here this long. What I'm going to do in this replay as well is I'll put timestamps throughout the training. I'll upload it to YouTube, timestamps, and you can actually skip through to each section. I'll write what that section's about. So if you need to jump back, you don't have to watch the whole thing again or figure out where you need to be and aimlessly click on different parts of the video to see where it's at. I want you guys to be able to implement this as quickly as fast as possible. I might even break this webinar up into 2 different videos on the replay page, because I know the first hour-ish we were talking about just a refresher on why this is such a cool and just absolutely massive opportunity. So I thank you all for being here. Thomas said there was a lot of repeats, but the more I listen to it, the more I understand it. Yeah, that's the goal. And we try to. It's always a balancing act of trying to people that get it straight out the gate, people that need a bit more or to hear it a few times of how it all works. So, but again, there's a lot more trainings coming for you guys. I really appreciate you all. I'll send out the replay in the next few hours. Sonny, that's a very, very kind thing to say. I appreciate you. And I'll get the replays out, and I've got some other special things coming your way shortly. So make sure to check my emails because I will have some pretty cool things coming your way, and I'll also set up a time for a Monday or Tuesday webinar as well. That'll just be with me going through high level itself. So saying that, appreciate you all. Hope you have a great day. Hope you got something from this, and I will see you next week. Don says you guys moved the ball a lot today. Awesome. I appreciate you guys. And I'm excited to see you in the coming days. Also, if you have any questions, email me. Respond to my emails. Normally, all my emails get forwarded to my support team. Not all my emails, but around launches and products and stuff and whatnot. But as this is the core thing I'm focusing on for the next month with you all, I've taken back over all emails. And I will manually forward anything if it's about any of my products and whatnot that my tech team can handle. But if it's related to high level as well, just reply to my email. I'll help you out with whatever you need to the best that I can. All right, guys, appreciate you all. I'll see you in the coming days. All right, guys, bye.